One second here. Howdy, howdy, Jay.
What's going on?
How you doing?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. Just was just
Let me
watching some.
see what. All right, so this episode is literally about to end. All right, let me get my notes out.
All right.
Pull myself. Give me a minute to get here. Tonight, if you're just joining us, there's already 12 in the build. First of all,
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
it says "See you in hell," Jay. It's a Chuggy shirt. Remember Chuggy?
Mm.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, I can hear you.
well, today is your first day, not you, but the people watching. We are going to be going over Walking Dead Season 1. This month, have they released a new season yet?
I think this is the last season this
But
year.
I'm saying, has the new one been released yet, or is it the end of the month of February?
Oh, I don't know.
You
Yeah,
don't know yet?
I
thought
watch
they
on
were-
net. Yeah, I watch on Netflix, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, yeah, I guess I know what you mean. But I know they said they were starting this month. I didn't know if you saw an ad for it or whatever.
Oh no, I haven't seen that yet. I'm not even that far caught up yet.
And hold on, let me get my notes first. And my voice sounds a little froggy because I did a late stream.
Yeah, I got the flu or something, I think too. So
Okay, a lot of sound. Boom. Boom. Okay, so let me print this.
hello, everyone in there. I can see your chat somewhat. Hello, Mountain Man. Hello, Joe Pesci's Ghost.
Which is Schmidt.
Oh, that's Schmidt. Schmidt, why aren't you on?
Only reason why I told him that Schmidt because he's your friend. Yeah, if you want to come on, Schmidt.
Hello.
I got a lot of interesting questions for you, so let me print this. Can it print?
Hey, Jay Ward. Hey, Ashley.
Oh, shit, Ashley's in here, for real?
That's what it
What up,
says.
Ashley? Perfect. Let me make sure she's got a wrench.
Yeah, she wanted to come on and hear about the Walking Dead Season 1 review.
Yeah. Hold on, let me check something real quick. Oh, I already got a wrench. Perfect. All right.
I lost you. I can't hear nothing. What happened? Hello? Hello? Is it just me? What happened? I think I'm talking to myself.
Sorry, Jay. Sorry about that.
There you go.
You hear
I
me?
was sitting here.
Sorry about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I was on another network. Shout out to the 15 in the building.
Oh, you didn't know?
Are you on Peacock?
Your ass better call somebody.
If you were on Peacock, that would explain why we couldn't hear you.
Okay, here's my note page. Okay, so let me turn down Walking Dead here. Okay, the first thing I wanted to ask you,
Yeah.
Jason, we reviewed season 1. One thing I noticed off jump when I started watching the episode, which was interesting, I thought, was
Yeah.
when you know where these characters are going, I think it was a lot easier to see, oh, well, you see, like when they took 5 people, that scene where it took 5 of them to kill that one walker, compared to
Yeah.
when they start to get better and everything's fluid, they're taking them down
Yeah.
with one hit. But it shows that build. It shows Carol when she was being abused by a guy, and
Yeah.
she's been in scenes when she's taken down fleet of men. She's killed,
Yes.
she's got that badass character in her.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I do, yeah.
I thought a couple things that I didn't like in the beginning was how Rick got shot. I thought how you remember how the guy come out there like he's got a gun. How the hell he was shooting that way first? How the hell was he able to get that up? Remember that?
Yeah.
That guy was just in like this animation. He's getting 9 shots on there. He's got a gun. He got 4 shots off that way. He should have been dead when the bullets were going that way. He was able to get another shot off. That was not even the shot that got Rick. I'm talking about, remember that close call? It got him like a, like a flesh wound. Then he takes the actual gunshot.
Yeah.
Why? What I missed, and I couldn't, let me know. How long was he in that hospital? Was that ever said?
I think it was like 8 or 9 months.
Now, 8 or 9 months, and then the end happened.
Yeah, because like from what I remember, because what Lori and Shane and all them were going and seeing him like every day. And you remember in that flashback where whenever Shane saved him from being killed by the walkers, that the CDC, like everybody knew what was going on. And they had like the guys from the government there, and they were shooting all the walkers, and they were shooting everybody who was infected. And then they were getting overrun.
I'll give you an instance of a scene you can appreciate that you probably wouldn't have been able to appreciate when you first saw it, is when they were disgusted when they're cutting the walker up because of the smell. How not used to simple, you know what I mean? Like Rick getting scared even at some parts. You could start to see some of the things of his leaderness start. That was the foreshadowing they did. But what did you think of the gunshot part?
Of him getting shot?
How he got shot? Were you a fan of how the writers did that?
No, I mean, I think that they probably didn't see, I mean, obviously they didn't see the full potential of what he was going to be. And from what I've heard, I mean, I think it was like, because I know like in the anime or in the manga, in the comics, there's a lot more. There's different people that take, that like help Rick along the way that we don't get to see in the show itself. But no, like he started out weak, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I didn't like. I thought it was ugly how they didn't say. Remember when Shane's in there with the flowers? Rick wakes up, thinks he's talking to Shane. He sees the dead flowers.
Yeah,
I wish they would have showed when Shane decided, okay, he's a lost cause. They should have shown, if you want to get a home run, show that hospital get overtaken.
Well, remember, they did show, they showed that whenever, I think that's in season 2, though. So we can talk about that next week, but there is a scene where they show where Shane was in the hospital when it was getting overtaken by the walkers.
Oh,
and he had pushed.
So
remember whenever Rick woke up, the hospital bed was in his way where he couldn't get out. Shane put that there to block the walkers from getting into his room, because you thought about it, you're like, well, how could he have laid in that hospital bed for another several months?
Taking Rick with him?
Because he was hooked up to all that stuff.
You really think it was because of that? I thought, obviously, he gets with his wife. Do you think Shane, because remember when she's like, you told me my husband was dead. Were they happy when they saw Rick come back alive? They looked like, Shane did not look happy.
No, they had that damn, that shitty look on their face.
In the faces. I was trying to determine, were they happy? I was trying to determine what Lori was thinking. Like, she got mad at Shane. What made her get mad at Shane? The fact that Rick was alive and she thought he was dead? Remember, she goes, stay away from me and my family. Right after Rick was...
Well, he lied to her, and I mean, I think a lot of it was guilt, because she was, they were having an affair, and I believe that they were having an affair before Rick even went into the hospital, before he got shot. I think they were.
Said that.
I think that there was something going on before. I hated her.
I don't know about something going on before, but I wouldn't be surprised if Shane always had a thing for her.
Oh yeah. But I'm pretty sure, because if you, okay, yeah. So season 2, we got to talk. Season 2 we'll talk about next week. We got to watch.
Well, let me ask
we got to watch that.
The wife first, and then Shane. If the wife could have had him dead or alive, which one would she have picked? After she had the affair with, you think she was happy he was alive, or do you think she just wished?
Yeah, I think.
How much in love do you think she was with Shane? Was she really in love with him like that? Like, I hope they acknowledged that.
I don't think it was love. I think it was more of a necessity. I think it was just, hey, you're keeping my family alive and you're helping out our family. So because I wish they would have shown how he got her and Carl out of Atlanta. And got that with the group and all that.
In my notes, I put, how did they know to use the blood to cover themselves? Who taught them that? Or did Rick just say, you know what?
That could have been. That could have just been a dumb look.
I don't blame Meryl for being mad at all.
Merle,
I guess that part was fine. Because you really technically don't know if he survived yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a he was one of those characters, like, I wish they could have done more with.
Yes.
I would have loved to have seen him.
Guardians of the Galaxy, big payout.
Yeah, he was doing Guardians of the Galaxy. He started doing Guardians of the Galaxy after season 3, I think, season 3 or 4, whenever, because that came out in 2006, 2007 or something, and he was doing he was in this season, I think, like 2004 or so. But no, like there was so many characters at the beginning.
I put in my notes, Glenn looked like Short Round from Indiana Jones. in that
Yeah.
first scene. Dr. Jones, that was the only thing I was wishing he could have told Rick. I will say this about season 1, that The Walking Dead is definitely lost in later seasons, is you're kind of like wondering what's going to happen. Not everybody knows everything. It's not like they got farms and they'll just show a couple days past and maybe a walker gets in. It was a lot more interesting when they were kind of just on the fly. They weren't established. They were going to be running into different problems, different people. You know what I mean? You could tell the things that they did in the beginning that you don't see no more that made the show so well.
Oh,
and we'll talk about more of those later. Well, maybe some stuff you did like about this season.
Well, I mean, like this season and like the whole first season was basically like, they're trying, like they don't understand, like they're in a whole new world. They don't know what's going on, like this is all new to them. Like if you like in the later seasons, like you figure they've been living like this for years at this point. I mean, because they're a long time, because there's a couple of time skips that they go through. So it's like, like they're like the actual Walking Dead. Like it gets to where it's not a concern anymore. It's like, oh, there's just, it's like they're like bears in the woods almost. It's like, yeah, there's bears out there, but I'm not worried about them.
Yeah.
Like it became more of, it wasn't
exactly
about
that's what I'm saying.
It
like
wasn't
it's
about the walkers.
Remember when they did the Kingdom and there's movie theaters now and there's, come on, you guys hit the fast forward button a little too quick. Where they failed, I think, is they needed to show, and they didn't do this with Fear. Remember how Fear was supposed to be about? Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, my wife's up here.
Go ahead. No, if you got to talk to her, go ahead. I don't want to.
No, you're good. Yeah, I was gonna put her on camera, and she refused to give me a mean look.
I thought Fear was supposed to be more about showing the beginning of the falling.
I've never watched Fear the Walking Dead. Yeah, I haven't watched Fear yet.
Don't. It was disappointing. Yeah. You can if you want, but it was just.
Yeah, I never watched it.
They dropped the ball to rounds like this. In certain scenes.
I've seen like a couple of clips of Fear, and it's like, I'm like, I've seen Morgan, and I've seen that Daryl guy with the face. With the fucked up face, I seen him, and I seen his wife and all that there, and I'm like,
did you see yes or no that Shane was mad about Rick surviving? What did Shane feel about that?
I'm sure Shane was probably, he was like, well, I got a good thing going here, and Rick's just gonna fuck this all up.
Interesting.
I think that they were
survived. None of the best. Your best friend survived. None. You're not happy for that at all.
Well, I mean, you got his wife. You weren't. Now you got a lot of. There's a lot of. Tension that's going to happen.
Wait, Ashley said, "Hold on, let me see what we got here." Became more about character book stories. I agree, Ash. Talk about.
All right.
Talk like you in a sermon, Rev.
Okay, cool.
In later seasons, Nathan is here. The Nathan. Just to be clear, he wants to be called the Nathan. He was in studio earlier. This is my buddy.
No, I enjoyed.
He'll be back. It's a hot, smelly garbage. I agree. It wasn't, Sheriff. It was. We'll address it one day, but it was just. They should have concentrated on more of the world collapsing. And it was kind of just like, boom, done. Zombies are here. Army is gone. And then they're teamed up with, they're paired up with that show to where it's almost the same show, but your characters didn't mean as much there. But we're not getting into the Fear tonight. because I don't have the voice for that. Ashley Gregory agreed either, or she did not like it. Maybe new Intercontinental Champ tonight, says Sean Smith. Swiftness, Pesci. Is this the Game of Thrones chat? No, that's the PW Outlaw chat. I liked the character backstories. Yeah. They kind of did that well in the beginning. In the end, they were force-feeding you characters that they wanted you to care about them, and you just weren't getting into them. And then before you know it, you're like, these are the core guys. You know, they had the guy with the slingshot, the lady with the bow. Rev?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You gotta hit, there you go.
There it is. Fucking hell, man. I hate this shit.
Where were we?
I'm about to go buy me a computer.
So Shane was sad. Yeah, at the end of the show, I want to talk to you about what we were talking about yesterday, too. About your promotion thing. I had a question.
Oh, yeah. I took it.
Oh, you took it? So you decided? Okay. Well, congratulations. Everybody, round of applause for Jason. He got a good promotion. But you were skeptical, huh?
I got a headache.
I
got a headache and a little bit more money, so.
Gotcha. Yeah, that works. Who was the hottest chick I liked? For me, let's just put it this way. Pesci, you could get with one chick on The Walking Dead. Okay. I got to be honest. I got an idea real quick. To the 17 people who are in here, and I'll have Revern guess. If you're familiar with The Walking Dead, who is the girl I would pick to get with? When I say get with, I'm saying sex, not married. We're talking about sex. Who is the one girl that Pesci would pick on The Walking Dead in the 10 seasons? And she is a core. She ain't like some girl that got killed outside of a 7-Eleven in season 5. This is a core piece. I love this woman. If there was such a word. Sorry about the frog voice.
What, Michonne?
I'm not going to say if anybody's right or wrong. I'm going to wait for a couple to get in. You're guessing Michonne? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wait for a couple to get in, and then I'll say who.
Yeah.
Who is Maggie? Maggie's the girl that was with Glenn?
Yep.
Okay. The white girl, they were all white to me except for Michonne.
What was that girl's name at the beginning? In season 1. What was that?
Oh, the one black girl, yeah, but she don't stay along for long. I didn't even remember her name.
No. I'm trying to remember, and I can't remember. I think it was
I'll get a couple more guesses, and then give me like 5 minutes, chat, and I'll tell you. But right now, if you guys could guess what girl I would like in The Walking Dead. But so you did say Shane was upset about Rick dying. Like if he could have had a choice, he would have chose Rick dead.
Now I think he was embarrassed. I think that he was worried for his safety. I think that, and at the same time, I think he was going insane. He was going insane.
That one woman's younger sister. There's 10 seasons, Whitehead. I just got a text message from Bolin saying, let's have a little fun tonight. It's promoting a show or whatever. Let's have a little fun tonight. Let's have a little fun tonight. But I want to know who Cher's talking about, the younger sister. Oh, but finish your thoughts, though. Give me the 3 things you liked about the season and 3 things you hated.
About season 1?
I'm just gonna let Mountain Timer, you guess spot on. This is the girl that was with Glenn.
Yeah.
That's who I would have picked, without a doubt.
I would have picked
And they even
Andrea.
had her lose weight for this role. And she
Yeah.
left for that Channel 3 show that was a dud, but that is a bad-looking bitch when she gets
Oh,
done
yeah.
up.
Yes, sir.
So that's my pick. Michonne's
Yeah,
not
I
bad,
would.
but I like Maggie. I'm a Maggie guy. I'm a
Yeah.
Maggie Mark. Mark for
I like
Maggie.
it. Yeah, I like the Andrea.
Andrea. Oh, I did like
The
Andrea too.
blonde.
I
Yeah,
did
the
like Andrea.
blonde.
Whose sister died and she was holding him in the hands.
Yeah.
I did
and
like
shot him in the
Andrea.
head, yeah. Oh,
Andrea
yeah.
definitely would have been a girl I would hit on in real life. For sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, in the comics, Lori
Rick's
dies
wife
a lot.
doesn't do it for me as much as the girl you just said. I like the girl you just said over Rick's
Oh God,
wife.
no, I hate Rick's wife. I wish they would have never brought
I
Rick's
mean, I
wife
would
into
bang
it.
her, but I don't love her. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, yeah, but like just her character and like just her persona in general is just terrible. She's horrible.
Yeah,
She's
she
a
was
horrible
basically
character.
she was just made a character so you could feel sorry for when she died with a baby. That was what they were setting her up for.
I mean, they shouldn't have brought the baby into it, for my opinion. But anyway, that's just.
I agree.
I mean, it's. But
Oh,
so
part I
season
did not like.
one.
So Rick
Yeah.
gets off. Hold on, now let me finish. Rick gets
Okay.
back that first day.
Mhm.
He's already trying to fuck her. Odd time, Rick. I get it. You're a guy and everything, but damn, after everything that's just happened, you're just trying to fuck her like that real quick. Wouldn't you be like a little bit still in shock? I mean, we got zombies going around. How was Rick? The reason why they did that is because they want her, when they announce she's pregnant, they want her to double think that. Because of that sex scene that was out of place. Like, Rick, how could you get horny after everything you witnessed that day? I'd be sitting in a corner like this. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm glad I saw my wife and all that shit, but look, we'll figure out some banging in a little bit. I just thought that was a silly sex scene when they did it.
With Carl in the bed next to him. That's what was fucked up about.
Saying, and you just got back. There's got to be I thought she did a better job showing her shocked look.
Yeah.
Rick was just like, yeah, come here. You know what I mean? I get it, Rick. I couldn't imagine being horny in that situation.
No, I mean, that would just be like fucking, yeah, I don't know. I mean, just,
And I thought, and if they show this later, I thought they need to show Rick's wife making that decision and not go. Why didn't you and Carl go attempt to get him? You just took Shane's word. You know what I mean? They should have showed that.
Well, Shane was the one who got them out of Atlanta. He was the one who came and physically got them and drove them to safety, and they met up with the other group. So
safety at what regards? They're just somewhere until a horde of walkers show up. That wasn't exactly safety. That's what they're kind of showing you, how they had to bounce. They had no structure.
Yeah. No, and it was new, so they didn't know what all was going on either.
Yes.
Because remember, they were like shooting them in the chest, and they were getting back up, and I'm like, fucking somebody hit it in the head.
That's why I was enjoying watching the beginning of them dealing with the walkers when they took 5 of them. Remember, 5 of them hitting with a bat? I'm like, damn, season 7, it's just Rick going like this with something,
like
they're all coordinated.
Like me and my wife were watching it, right? And we were sitting there, we were like, we were watching like season 1, and we were like, Rick in season 9, like if Rick in season 9 was Rick in season 1, he would have killed everybody and then just fucking got in the RV and drove away. Because he's, his character, and it's cool to see his character develop like that. It's cool to see all of his characters.
That was what was good about this show.
Yeah.
We'll get to Rick's death, not even his death, but we'll get to when they took him off the show eventually. Yeah. But Rick, this is what the WWE, this is Walking Dead, like eventually 6-7 seasons in, this is what they weren't doing. They were developing a Maggie, a Daryl, think of the Asian guy. Think about how far he went along. Remember that one season where a guy was trying to get over on him and Glenn was just whooping his ass?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Remember that? And the guy acted like he
Yeah.
was badass and he couldn't even kill Walker, and Glenn had to save his life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was
No.
good
Yeah.
because you cared about those characters. When Negan killed those characters, you cared.
Oh yes. Yes, sir.
If Negan would have bashed a few of these characters in today with the bat, you just would not have cared. But go on and finish your. Maggie was hot. Maggie was fucking hot.
Yeah, she was. No. So season 1, the 3 things I really liked. I like Dale. Dale was like the coolest character. I loved. I wish Dale was still alive, because he was literally like the most reasonable, sane character in the whole damn show.
That was the guy
was
that was on the camper, right?
Yeah, that's the guy. That's the old guy in the RV.
Oh, he's trying to like preach. He goes, "Hey." I didn't love him.
I don't know. Like he just seems so rational to me. It's like
Well, I didn't
if
like
this
when
was
he
a
was like,
real
I
situation.
didn't like how they made him like he like wanted to not get with that girl, but he's kind of like liking her and
Yeah.
and
No. Yeah. Well, yeah. Like Daryl. I like Daryl.
of course,
Daryl is like it's so amazing how his character develops. Like I think his character develops better than Rick, because like Daryl starts out like this lonesome, scared guy who pretends to have like a really tough side, but he's really lonely and
they
scared.
dropped the ball real quick. They dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Carl's development could have been the best story ever. They should have did more with Carl getting bigger, even sometimes maybe going off by himself.
Yeah.
Maybe starting his own crew.
Yes. Well, so in the comics, yeah, in the comics, like the way it's based on in the comics, it's not Rick's story. It's about Carl. It's Carl's story, because it's like it's centered around Rick, but it's about it's basically like old man Carl telling stories about his dad. So it's like when they killed off, Carl, it's like Carl. I like the way he says that.
I never got into the. So what? That's the one. So what are the other two? So what are the 3 things you didn't like about that season?
I didn't like Lori. Anything with her, I don't think she should have been in the whole damn show.
Fair.
I didn't care for it at all. Let's see. I think
I remember I hated her in Prison Break. The nurse that was in love with Michael. Whoa.
Yeah. I mean, I think probably I don't know, man. Just like the naivety of all the characters, and like just like how they're like how they're trying to. I know they're trying to grasp onto some humanity, but like it's like, okay, you guys are any moment going to get killed, and you're just sitting here like, oh, let's go fishing and talk about our parents and stuff like that. It's like, no, freaking get some fish, go move on,
I couldn't believe how young Carl looked. I was like, wow.
Yes. Coolest, like the badassest part about season 1, and my favorite part was when Ed, who Carol's abusive drunken husband, who was probably like he was a pedophile and all that shit too.
Didn't he get killed by that zombie in the tent?
He got killed. He got killed by the he got eaten by the walkers.
I would have killed him different.
No, I would have had Shane kill him whenever he was beating the hell out of him on the beach.
Maybe have the fucking wife surprisingly kill him.
Well, and remember whenever they're like whenever they're hitting them in the head so they wouldn't turn after the attack and all that, and Carol's like, it's my husband, let me let me put the pickaxe through his head. And she just hits him over and over and over and over again. Like he was like her character and her story development is just amazing too. Because it's like she lost everything and just
I'll tell you why it's amazing. You look at her in season 1, and it's like you don't ever see you don't see yourself getting into that character.
No.
Like she just looks like a. They did well with that. They stopped doing that in the future.
Yeah.
Their attempts to build, were just poor. Shit was becoming too callable, or they would be planning for the season finale in episode 2. Like, you'd be like, okay, they're going to battle them, but they're going to run that all season. I didn't like that. I like the element of surprise. That's what made Breaking Bad so good. They made almost every show a season finale. You'd watch the end of Breaking Bad, you'd be like, holy God. I got it.
The cliffhanger. That cliffhanger you had, like, it was just like it just kept you I remember the first season, like every episode made me want to see the next episode. And then later on in the series, you don't get that. Like you watch one episode, like you watch an episode in season 9 and you're like, well, this is just stupid. I don't want to watch this shit. Just a bunch of guys shooting at each other, and then there's some drama, and then there's more guys shooting at you. Like you could, like season 1, like you're sitting there and you're like, man, like what's going to happen next? And people were just dying left and right. And like in like season 1, and like you would hear, like you'd get some dialogue and you'd learn about this character and you'd start to, develop a bond with this character, and then boom, they're killed.
Most interesting thing, though, what part 1 that really is going to hook you off jump was the whole Shane getting with the wife. That's enough right there. Yeah. When we saw the scene, their faces, at least those actors, Shane's a great actor. Rick, that's not even his accent. I always get a kick out of Rick. He does an English accent. Lincoln, that was awesome. I was like,
he's British, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not even how he speaks.
I know.
But where these characters you want to make these jump off shows with, that's how good they were. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't be able to make no spin-offs. I'm not going to talk too much about the zombies that were the what were they called? The Whisperers. I believe that was out of place. That could have been a great battle. Them battling guys that were wearing but I just thought it was poorly executed. I thought the way they took that one woman's head, Negan, when she took the head, I thought it could have been a lot harder, or it just felt like Negan was just like, boom, dead.
Yeah.
He killed the head whisperer.
I mean, like, it just got sloppy, and it got
rushed.
It was just like they just
you don't care as much. Oh, this guy dies. Who cares? You got a guy with a slingshot now.
Yeah, like you got like your first season, and I think it was just like you really couldn't. By the time you got to where you could focus on characters that actually stayed for more than one season, it was it was too late at that point.
Exactly. They botched the Rick thing so much, because even though the ratings were down, they were down to where they wanted people to see that episode. And whatever that word is, contract-wise, Rick was done. There was nothing they could go around it. They didn't want to tell you at the end of last season Rick wasn't coming back.
Yeah.
We'll get into that one day. That was the most fucking bullshit thing they did.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
And then letting us know when it was going to happen, considering you made a living off of surprise deaths. Are we going to lose? What's his name? Are we going to lose? We knew, even though Rick didn't die that day, we knew he was going.
Yeah.
And we know he's not coming back, because now they're like, obviously Michonne. Think about how Michonne left, how poor that was. Let me get this right, Michonne. You love those kids more than anything in the world, and then you just sent them a John Deere letter later. I got to go deal with some shit. We'll get into that eventually, too. We're going to destroy them eventually.
Oh
Because
yeah.
right now, you're still getting the good.
Oh yeah.
So,
Okay.
finish the
So
things you hated.
all right. So another character that I really, like the first four episodes, really good character. I thought Jim. Remember Jim, the crazy guy who was digging the graves, and they had to tie him up.
Oh, when I see him, I'll probably remember him. From what
No,
season?
yeah, he was in season 1.
That dude who was dying in the
Yeah, he was dying in the RV, and they had to, huh?
Oh, yeah, I agree. Awful.
Yeah, I mean, he was like one of those, like you're sitting there and you're like, man, like this guy could be me. It was like I could see, like he was just a normal person who I just seen like caught up in
normal in a show. You want the audience to feel about these characters like that girl, the blonde girl, who lost her sister. She becomes a pretty good fucking character. On top of her looking good, I was always just attracted to her, but you feel for Daryl. You see even Michonne eventually when she comes around, her build, especially Carol's. And that stuff's cool, but I didn't like how like all of a sudden they're having kids and then they would just keep fast forwarding time to where you're just supposed to believe that, you know what I mean? Now they're getting water and there's a kingdom and.
So what they could have done, Pesci, is so it could have been like they could have just started out like this. Rick comes back just the exact same way, except for it's Shane, and Shane like he found Carl, and just like Carl had to kill his mother, whenever she was pregnant or whatever, he had to shoot her and all that. It could be something like that where Shane found Carl and he had shot his mother who had been bit by a zombie.
Should have been showing their world kind of crumbling. Show Shane showing up at her house. Hey, I gotta go. Rick's dead. Show that.
Yeah.
Don't make us guess. Maybe they do show some things that I missed.
Yeah. They never do. Yeah, they never show how they got out of Atlanta or nothing like that. It shows like little tidbits of him and her interacting whenever Rick gets shot and like them visiting him in the hospital and stuff like that. But she was a distraction in my opinion. Like she was a distraction in the show. Their three-way love triangle thing was a distraction. I didn't really care for it. They could have done the same thing with Rick and Shane, where they eventually had to kill where Rick eventually had to kill him.
I think you still do their love triangle because I remember I was like, I want to see their faces when they see Rick's alive. That you got to keep. How the fact that they just left him at a hospital, I think there should have been more about, they really thought he was dead and somehow Rick survived and they show him get out of the hospital, maybe dedicate a whole episode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Show him how he got out of there, where he's thinking. Show how they all met up with Carol. It seemed like Rick woke up, no power in the hospital. Rick, how are you alive?
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean? If they left you in there, how come they didn't just put you out? Grab them, bring them with us. And she answered that. She said that you said my husband was dead. Bitch, you should have went and checked. Go check, whore.
Yeah. But they, like I said, I think there was something going on with them before. I think there was something going on with them before Rick ever got shot. I mean, just the way they looked at each other and the way they talked.
Shout out to Marty the Mob. Love you, Marty. But they had to keep them safe. Keep who safe?
I'm trying to keep up with these comments.
Good. Mark Rebel Gabe said he thinks Rick's going to be in season 11. But Mark, that's not going to save them.
I mean, this season 11 is the last season. Like they've done confirmed it. Like
They
this is
have.
it. It's done. It's done.
You can't afford. You there's too many holes in the characters where you're just we're done. We need either spin-offs.
You know, I mean, how much further can they go? I mean, the comic's done, so it's like.
Well, it's not about. I'll tell you, this is another thing that pissed me off about this show. I felt like they could be going for a long time, but how they handled those 6, 7, 8 when they started fast forwarding, everybody knows stuff. No, you shouldn't have fast forwarded. Maybe show the little girl learn how to use the sword.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They show her learning, but then they never put her in any scenes. I thought she might have been a cool character. I'm like, oh, this could be interesting. But then she didn't do shit.
I mean, you knew that the season was going to end soon anyway, or the series was going to end soon anyway, after they killed off Carl, because Carl was, Carl lived, like he's the one telling the story at the end of the comic.
Well, when they killed Carl, when they killed him, I'm like, ooh. And then the way they did the Negan thing, which I thought they should have just killed him. If you're not going to make him his old self, you're going to just stick. We'll get to that. We're not going to, because we're talking about season 1, but like I said, we'll get there. There's a lot to cover with that. That's when the frustration builds. But that got one. Name one last thing you hated about that season.
I'll
go over mine too.
Man, like season 1 was such a good season. It was just really good.
Yeah, well, when you think about where you're at now, you're like, damn, this was actually.
I mean, like it was just really, you can tell why it got people hooked.
Yeah, that's why I was watching it during stream. For me to just kind of have my back turned to the camera, I was like, I wanted to see what happens because it's funny. You know where a lot of these characters end up, so it's good to see how they were early. That's kind of entertaining. You know what I mean?
But most of them are gone.
But with Carl, like you said, with how they killed him, you guys kind of just maybe fucked up any future you have. Especially with Rick on his way out. And Rick was really a great character. Remember when he had to kill a real human with his mouth like a walker? And he bit the guy's throat and just ripped off the chunk of his throat.
Yeah.
Him and Daryl were just, dude. Yeah. Rick eventually becomes that guy.
Oh, well, I mean, he became that guy in season 2 whenever, what is it called? Rick-tatorship?
Wait till I rewatch that.
Rick, whenever he becomes the Rick-tator, under his Rick-tatorship, where it's like.
I always thought that was stupid. We need a leader. If me and 10 of my friends were in a goddamn warehouse running from zombies, we're not going to go, Mike, you're our leader now. No, we're all going to work together and say what we think. You're the leader now.
So I was
writers. That's stupid writers.
Yeah. So I was rewatching. I'll tell you one thing that I did enjoy, and it also made me really sad at the same time. Remember whenever they're in Atlanta and he goes back to get all the guns, and they go back to find Merle, and they come across like the street guys, and it happens like they're getting ready to go in there and they're getting ready to kill them all, and like they're actually like they're protecting the people at a nursing home.
Yeah,
remember
the Hector guy was holding it for the old woman. That was the guy from Fast and the Furious who plays all the Puerto Rican roles.
Yeah, you remember that?
He always plays the bad Spanish dude, Hector. Hey,
yes.
Hector, man.
No, I mean, like that.
I agree.
That was
spot on with that. I agree. Spot on.
No. I mean, that was just amazing, and and you're like, at the same time, you're like, man, like it was really nice that they were able to, like come up with a, to come up with an answer for that, because you don't really think about like, well, what about all these people like, sick and elderly? Like, what happens to them? And it's like, well, I mean, a lot of them die, but some of them were able to live.
Who? What do you mean live?
No, the older people, like the ones who were being protected in that by that group, or the
Definitely. I don't. Do they eventually show you how Merle escaped? Because that should be done.
I know he like
Or
they
they
showed.
do it through little visions, not really strong ones.
Well, yeah, I mean, like where he like killed those two walkers and fixed his hand and then broke out and stole their truck and it ran out of gas and then he was stumbled across by the governor. I mean, I think that was pretty much his stuff, which I can't wait to talk about the governor. The governor's my favorite character, man.
No, yeah,
Like he was the best villain. Like he was just so good.
More than Negan? We'll make that the poll question. Negan or one night we'll make that the poll. Negan or the Revern or
the governor. Oh man, he was like the governor was just like on a whole nother level of psycho, man. He was such and like in the comics.
One thing I remember about the governor was how he got killed. I don't know if I would have did it like that. I always thought Rick should have did it.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, especially like if you read the comic, man, he was like, if you read the comics, man, like he was a whole nother level of psycho, man. Oh my God. Because he raped Maggie and like, oh man, he was.
When did he do that? Did you know that?
In the comic. No, well, remember when they, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, oh man, that was such a, he was a crazy dude.
You guys are watching, season 1 was only 6 episodes. Very quick.
Season 1 was only 6 episodes and it was good. So let's talk about the CDC.
Okay.
That was one of my favorite, scenes whenever they get to the CDC and he's banging on the door, let us in. They don't think anybody's there. And it's that one guy who's there, right? And he's and he's watching them on the camera. And he's like, and like Rick's like, I know you're in there, please let us in. And he finally lets them in and they go in and they get showers and
I did not like. You liked it?
I mean, it was good. It was good dialogue, and it was good. Like it was nice to kind of get like an insight of.
It was like they're in this giant place. Before you know it, they had to get. I had nothing wrong with the character. I just did not like that.
Do you think that we will ever find out what the actual virus is that's making them turn into zombies? Like, what is it? That's what I'm trying to. I mean,
a spinoff. They're ready to end this shit.
I mean, I guess it's probably not important anyway, is it?
Huh?
I guess it's probably not important anyway, is it? I mean, they're.
Yeah, well, because you're not in. Everyone's dead that you loved, except maybe like Daryl, and it's not like you're not gonna love Rick's daughter the way you like Carl.
No.
Right?
No, yeah. No,
I'm asking you. That's what I'm saying. I'm not. I thought they. No, I'm not going to talk about Carl mid-season, but we're going to get into Carl.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think, as good as that show really did, I'm able to look at that show and see things. Wow, if they would have just did this, they would have been. And it's not even hard to come up with some of this stuff, it seems like.
Now let me ask you something, brother. Okay, I want to ask you this because we were watching this when it was going on. Like we were watching that episode with the CDC, and and Rick's talking to the scientists there, and they're talking about like they're trying to figure out what it is, and they don't know what it is.
What did they learn there? What did they learn there? I remember the guy was talking. I'm like, what's going on here?
Or he learned. Remember, because I remember whenever they're leaving, he finally lets them out, and they're leaving because the building's getting ready to blow up. And he grabs Rick and he whispers something into his ear. And then remember, we don't listen, we don't understand, we don't know what he said until in like the middle of season 2. We don't know what he said to him, but I'll give you a spoiler. he told them that everyone's infected. That's why that even if you don't get bit, you still come back as a walker.
Okay. But I just thought you could do that. You know what? I just wasn't a fan of that scene, we'll say.
No, but it got me thinking, like Pesci, if this were real life, okay, if this really happened, and me and you and our group, Mountain Man and all of us were in the Walking Dead universe, and we were, experiencing this. I know my fat ass would have probably got eaten a long time back. But, I think about it like with that black girl, whenever the CDC's getting ready to blow up and everybody's wanting to get out, and she's like, no, I'm going to stay.
The season 1 black girl, right?
Yeah. Remember whenever, because Andrea was going to stay, and
I've been watching it, yeah.
Yeah, and Dale was like, no, you got to live, and all this other stuff. I was thinking to myself, when I was talking to my wife, I'm like, I said, if this was how the world was going, if this was what was going on, and there was no hope, like what's going on right, like in the season, I probably would have stayed there too. That'd be a quick way to go, man. You ain't got to worry about getting torn apart by zombies or nothing.
But Rick lived, though.
He lived, but like at the beginning, like you didn't really know what was going on. Like you didn't know what was going to happen. It was just like, I'm saying, like if it were real life, if this was me in that situation, I'd probably want to take the easy way out like that. I don't know if I don't know if I'd be tough enough to handle it.
I don't know. I'd probably be the one that would just get bit and let it just play out. I'm going to go run in the woods until I turn. Well, anything else in that season you loved or hated? Because it was pretty basic when those 6 episodes. Yeah. You had the Rick and his wife ordeal. You had, it shows Carol having abuse problems. What's her name's dealing with that loss of her sister. So what The Walking Dead always did was tried to show somebody lose somebody and then get stronger because of that loss.
Yeah. Yeah.
They do it with Carol next. They're about to do it with Carol to a degree coming up here when she loses her daughter.
Yeah.
In this episode, I felt like the characters that they did kill were the right ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think they got to, I hate to bring up Carl again, but I think they got to a point where Carl should still be alive. You guys didn't do well enough with him to kill him yet.
Yeah. And
when they killed Carl, you weren't I think you'd be heartbroken, but you were like, damn. Like when Glenn got killed by Negan and the bat, you're like, fuck. You remembered that a couple days later. You didn't really care about what's his name's death as much as you thought you should.
Well, like eventually you just got like in that first season, like it could have been anyone. Like, you were just waiting for anyone to die. And you really we didn't have enough time with them on screen to really get an attachment to them. So it was like their death wasn't, a surprise in a way, it was like, well, that was just something that was going to happen, I'll tell you what's cool, man. Remember the Mexican family that was with them that went off on their own way whenever they went to go to the CDC? You get to see that guy later on.
Interesting, because I remember I was looking at him. I'm like, I know we don't see him much longer.
Yeah, you get to see him later on.
I barely remember him. I barely remembered him, and I barely remembered the black girl.
Yeah, I won't spoil it for you, but you get to see him later on.
I probably would remember it when I see it. It's just been so long since I watched some of these episodes.
Well, no, and like they go into a full like dialogue of his like of what happened to him and all that. But anyway, yeah, we can talk about that in season 9.
Interesting.
That's your spoiler.
And then if you
No,
really
man,
do
like-
want to do Breaking Bad, we could do the Breaking Bad when we finish The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead makes sense now because it starts this month or something.
Yeah, dude, Breaking Bad. I mean, like we could do an episode breakdown of Breaking Bad because it was like
The thing with Breaking Bad is you watch an episode and you have so many emotions after the episode. It's kind of hard to just
Yeah.
keep going all the way through them because you got to sometimes, all right, I got to take a break from that because there's a lot I always thought there was a lot to handle. Remember when you found out what's his name was given the ricin and he really technically was trying to kill the kid technically, really?
Brock, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about McLovin or the dude with the ball that why did McLovin? Why can't I remember his name? What was his drug name? Remember, he's like, say my name. What was the head guy, the bald, the teacher?
Heisenberg?
Heisenberg, yeah.
Walter White?
Walter White. Yeah, Walter White was Heisenberg.
Yeah.
But you remember he gave that kid the rice and he was technically going to kill that kid, the kid that.
Yeah, it would have, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey,
What are the chats saying? I can't hardly see it.
It just says, hey, Reverend, and hey, Pesci.
Hey, Ariel.
This is what it says, Michonne.
Mm-hmm. No, we can do a whole like, episode by episode breakdown of Breaking Bad, man. That was my favorite show of all time, probably.
I always said I feel
so
comfortable
good.
you put it number 1. I'll give it number 1.
Yeah.
I thought
it was just so good.
It wasn't that they would do things that would make you angry. You'd be like, damn, I can't believe they did all that. Like, I can't believe they're doing this to the characters. Like, they were just kind of really putting them into positions every time. Like, wow, let these guys breathe. Great show. Probably the best ever.
Oh, yeah. It's got to be.
When you're talking, when you got to carry a show for 5 seasons, you could put those 5 seasons against any movie, and they would at least hold up.
Oh, yeah.
You might like.
Yeah. I mean, just every.
Yeah, so I said, the characters I hate all the same. I didn't like Rick's. I don't have her being a problem being a character on the show. I just thought she was boring.
Yeah.
Like, she felt like, I don't know, people like thought of her as a leader or this or that. And I don't know. I don't think she earned anything. And there was that scene when Carl was playing with toys. Carl, how are you playing with toys in the apocalypse, bro? I'm trying to think, even when I was a kid, if I knew I was living around zombies, dude, the G.I. Joes are done. Give me a goddamn stick and a blade. We're going to sharpen that fucker up.
No, yeah. I mean, they didn't, they didn't take it seriously in season 1. There was no, they didn't take it seriously. It was, there was a lot they should have done.
Scared to go in the basement. If I would have saw what Carl saw physically, so I used to be scared of shit I didn't see when I was really young. If I would have saw that shit, bro, I'm not picking up toys. I'm not even sitting on the grass. I got like a gun, Dad. We're training now.
Hold on. Hey, Brad, how you feeling? How's Brad doing? I heard he was sick.
Well, he's getting better.
Is he getting better? Has he got the COVID?
I talked to him on the phone, actually. What up, Scott Ash?
Has Brad got the COVID?
Boss man, no, it wasn't COVID. Oh, it wasn't COVID. That he did say it was negative. He just said he was sick, couldn't work, wanted to leave the house and shit. Any normal reaction. I hated being sick.
Yeah, I got the flu or something. I don't know what's going on with me. My damn voice is. I'm just now getting my voice back.
I'm losing mine too, but I think that was from cutting promos.
Oh yeah.
But what did you say? You said you'd go golfing tomorrow. You're golfing in the snow.
In the snow, it's like 70 degrees down here.
Oh,
The hell are you talking about?
there's snow everywhere here. I didn't realize you guys
Oh
had
no,
zero snow after that.
it's gonna be like
I
60,
remember
like
just
65
did he
tomorrow.
just go golfing in the blizzard?
Yeah.
I forgot.
Well,
North
there's no
Carolina.
blizzard.
That'd be
No,
crazy.
we don't get that cold weather, man. Y'all got that damn lake that brings y'all that cold weather.
Good job, Ariel. I got a total of about probably 9-10 hours in. Kids adapt. I'm trying to think if there's any closing things that I would say about that season.
It gets better.
It definitely, when you know where a lot of those characters go to, you could definitely see why it was an interesting show when it was an interesting show.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And
Well,
their fumbles, their good stuff made up for the bad that they were kind of throwing in.
Yeah.
Oh, Ariel Ashley was here earlier. The glorious Ashley. That's awesome, Pesci, because it's exhausting but fun. What is that? Reverend Robbins, I need a prayer, says the Mountain Man.
Put my hand towards you right now, brother. What I feel. I'm sending all this energy to you right now, brother. I'm putting all this energy out towards you right now. Right now, I am putting my hand, and I want you to take your hand, and I want you to put your hand towards your recording device. And right now, the love and the energy and the positivity that I'm sending to you right now, it will engulf you in health and prosperity and in healing. Amen. Did you feel that, Pesci? I sent it. You could feel it.
I almost pulled $1 out of my pocket. I felt it so much. Oh, she's here. Holy smokes. Well, I appreciate you being here, Ashley. I did not know you were here still. But I'm sure, but let me go back to what I was thinking. Because you know what's funny is now I am ready. You know what we should do? Next Friday, let's do 2 and 3. I'll be ready for it. I think we could get 2 and 3 done in one show. Rev, you there?
I'm here, yes, sir.
Since you're already far ahead, let's go seasons 2, 3 next week.
Okay, yeah.
We'll go 2, 3.
Oh yeah.
Because I think
absolutely.
Governor gets introduced in 3, right?
He gets introduced, in season 3, yeah.
You can tell me what season it is. I know what happened. I like to be
season 2.
Some of the stuff that
is so
I was
good.
like, oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Season 2 is so good, man, because I loved Herschel. Herschel was such a good character.
I mean, I didn't love Herschel.
Dude, I don't know. Like, Herschel just seemed like my granddad, man. It was like, I'm sitting
like
there watching.
Herschel eventually when he had like one arm. He's in the prison. He's like a savage man now.
Yeah. With the stump. The old pirate Herschel.
Even though they were boring, I did like how he was like the Yoda to Rick. Sometimes you'd be like, no, Rick. You know what I mean? When you give Rick those pep talks about being a leader.
Yeah.
We'll wait till we get to the prison. Yeah. There's a lot of shit. I never got a chance, for people watching, I never got a chance to review The Walking Dead. I always wanted to.
Yeah. Final thoughts on season 1.
Yeah, go ahead.
There was a lot of naivety. There was a lot of things that they should have. I mean, they should have just known,
show the Rick thing. Show them forgetting Rick. Show her making that decision. Show that. Don't show some like weird ass flashes. We get the dead plant. Tell us how long that was. Because the fact that Rick survived, he walks outside, there's 1 million dead bodies. How did Rick survive that? Was his machine still, dude? I couldn't imagine still going.
Now in the season 2, Shane
Where
unhooked him from
they
all the
failed in
machines.
fear, they should have did more with the army, showing the army trying to come in and make a change, and they couldn't do anything. Remember how they showed those tapes? They should have showed more. If you call them flashbacks, if you want, show more flashbacks with the army. Show more of the hospital.
Yeah.
Obviously, you said you didn't see anything in season 2, so they're just kind of like letting you forget that.
No, in season 2, they did show where Shane was trying to get him out of the hospital.
And I don't know what to think. Is the wife glad that he's back now? Did she kind of like have a second, like, you know what? I'm happy he's here.
No, I think that she probably she missed him, and she was probably really grief-stricken.
Well, you could see that. You know what? You got to say that about that actor. She did good with the facial expressions during that.
Oh, I don't her as a person. She's probably a very nice person, and she's probably a great actor.
Saying like that. I'm saying I didn't like when they had her doing anything else with any other characters.
Yeah.
Other than her, when she tried to yell, "You don't tell my family what to do." Bitch, you were just fucking him a day ago. Why do you hate him? I didn't understand why she was all of a sudden so mad at him.
Because she was ashamed of what she had done, like cheating on her husband and all that shit. And
if it was because he said he was dead and you guys left because of what he said, at least let us know that.
Yeah, there was a lot of drama that there shouldn't have been that much drama. I mean, I don't know. If I would have booked it, I would have done it a lot differently than what that was. Because
I would have put him in more situations like they're hunting and he fucks them over, and it kind of shows how bad the fuck up this guy is. Have something happen like that. Just don't let him get a random tent.
No, I would have shown him. I would have had Shane just beat him to death on the shore right there.
They got to go on a run or something, and something happens during the run to where he has to be taken out.
But I mean, you don't see his character doing something like that though. You see, he's a classic lazy wife abusing bastard. He's not going to say anything because
he was not happy to see Rick back. I hate to say it, even though it was his best friend. It did not.
Oh no, Shane. Yeah, but Shane was the leader of the group before Rick came, and I think a lot of the tension.
Leader, I don't think really is what really set that over. It was always going to be the girl.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it.
And he's in there, happens to be fucking her. Go figure.
Yeah, I don't know, man. In season 2, there's a lot of it where it shows.
You just said go on a building and you got a boner for your wife, your kids right there. How does he? Remember, she goes, he'll sleep right through it. They really added that line in just so they can fuck in front of him. Don't worry,
I mean, okay. So if I were Rick, I was going to be like, how the fuck do you know this? How do you know we can have sex and he'll sleep right through it? What? That should have caught his attention right there. Wait a minute,
Rick saw his boy's shoes in there, and he's like, "Was that his drawers?"
Okay, so we'll go ahead for just 1 second. Whenever.
What time did you say you were going to tonight? Didn't you give me a time? And you're like, I'm going golfing. What time you want to go to?
We'll go to midnight.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We can go to midnight. I figured Schmidt could come on, and I could.
I think he's on with Bowling. Let me see what's going on in Bowling. Keep talking. Let me see where Schmidt is.
But no, you remember seeing where she tells Rick that her and Shane had an affair, and Rick, I mean, he seemed okay with it, and he forgave her, and it was like, wow, that was.
Send Schmidt a link.
That was weird, it doesn't seem like that was, something that, a normal, rational person would do. But I mean, I don't know, man, there was just a lot of, there was just too much drama in that in the first season, the first 2 seasons, in my opinion. I think it should have been.
We mean drama, real quick. We mean drama.
Well, I mean, just like I think the love triangle got in the way of what could have been more useful character development. I mean, like, okay, so we could talk about it next week whenever we actually review those.
I think what they should have did was just dress it quicker.
But like, if you like, she becomes a manipulate. She tries to manipulate Rick. You know, like whenever because she was trying to get Rick to kill Shane. She wanted Rick to kill Shane. I mean, you remember there was that one episode. There was that one part whenever they were talking, and she's like, well, you have to protect this family, and he's a threat to this family. What are you going to do about it? Remember that?
I remember that. No, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember when she starts talking like that and like some.
Like she was being like she was manipulating him. I'm like, this is
here.
Yeah, like she's manipulating him, and I'm like, this is just
favorite character in season 1.
Yeah.
No, who was your favorite character?
I just didn't like her character. I thought she was
favorite character in season 1. Who'd you like?
Dale. I like Dale. I like Dale and I like Shane. I didn't care for first season Rick. I really didn't. I mean, it was just like
the Chinese kid.
Glenn, yeah, Glenn was cool. Daryl, I didn't really care for Daryl the first season.
I like parts of Shane. I think they problem with these guys is a lot of these actors were on the verge of getting deals in bigger movies. And I wonder with these new deals they got, how bad their writing was affected by spring of the moment, get rid of this character.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they might, maybe what's his name knew he was going to die season 3, so he started to look for another job right around then.
Yeah.
And
well, I mean, he was going, like, Shane was going to go film The Punisher.
Yeah, and I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, he filmed The Punisher right after The Walking Dead.
A lot of those,
I believe,
a lot of them did something like that, though. A lot of them did.
Yeah.
What was the other black girl? I can't even think of her name. Remember they sent her back in the coffin? And Negan opens the coffin, or somebody opens the coffin, and she's a walker.
What, Taisha, I think her name is?
Yeah, remember? She was like the kind of like, I think she was a lesbian, but yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, she was in love with what was his name? The one who got killed. The other guy, Abraham.
She came in with Abraham's group, right?
No, she came in with
all that shit with doctor, dude. I'll tell you what. I'm just bringing this up real quick. When they were doing all that shit with that doctor and that girl with the kid, and I was like, "Who's the father of this kid?" Like, remember the Reverend, the black Reverend? All of a sudden, I'm like, who fucked this girl? Was it the Arab doctor? That shit was so. And then you find out he was like gay or something, and he was killed by his gay. I don't know why they brought anything in there like that. Oh, it's normal. This is the apocalypse. It wasn't normal for people to do that before. They're just going to start making it normal in the apocalypse. Let's keep that shit out.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to make gay guys and lesbians and fucking. There'll probably be a tranny next month. You never know. So they'll have an episode where a girl's like, "Mom, I don't feel like being a girl no more." And you're like, "You're in The Walking Dead." Like when they had that one neighborhood where it was all secure and there was bedtimes, there's beds, and I was like, you guys have lost me now.
Yeah.
I thought they should have did more with that tiger when they had it. And the king could have been I think the king was underplayed. As much as you hated that, I thought the king, there was something there with that guy. I think you could have done something. I think they tried, but it just...
Yeah.
You know, you're supposed to care about that kid that wasn't their kid, but they called their kid.
Yeah. My thought is, how did he keep that damn tiger alive that long? How did that
Hey,
tiger?
when you guys were doing all that fuckery, that's when you should have been showing his story, the
Yeah.
tigered man, where you just
Motherfucker
occasionally
walking
just
around.
go over to his story and show. Yeah, I hate
Yeah.
seeing animals die. When the tiger died, I remember I always turn my head when that happens.
Yeah, man. No, I was.
Like when I see Daryl's dog, I'm like, don't do this.
Yeah.
Like, I hate in Resident Evil, I never watch it usually. They're Dobermans, my dog, and they have to kill these Dobermans. And I never watch the part, I'll usually fast forward. But it's like a
Yeah.
main enemy in the Resident Evil is the Doberman that's a zombie.
Yeah.
I was kind of thrown off by the walker that had that block busting a window. When did they start doing that? Remember, the walker was like, "Ah!" No, that's not what you guys ever did. You guys were like just no break. Remember that walker was breaking the window?
And where was this at?
The building with Merle. They were on the bottom floor. The door is filled with walkers. And Rick's
Yeah.
like, that glass is going to break. They cut to a scene where there's a walker with a brick and he smashed it through the door. Go back to it. They looked a little faster, too. Those
Yeah, I mean,
walkers were faster in season 1. Go back to it. You'll find it. You can't miss it. It was episode 5.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably just added that shit in. I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm saying
That's
those
weird.
walkers didn't do that then. They never did that 9 seasons after that. Remember, people would be pushing them. Carl was playing with one.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be that intelligent.
Like, I thought a really interesting episode they once did. Not how they killed Tyrese, but how they had to kill those 2 little young girls.
Yeah.
Remember the young girl killed the young girl, but then Carol had to kill the one girl because she realized she's lost it.
Yeah.
That was a good shit. That was good shit.
Yeah.
How they killed Tyrese, I think you could have let him live. I know he went on to do some films, but he wasn't like Tom Cruise.
No, yeah. I mean, like, there's just so much, like, there was so much they missed the ball on. You know, I mean,
What
we
would
can,
you
you know,
rate
we
it
can
out
talk
of
about
5 if 5's the best? What would you rate it out of 5 with 5 being the best?
what, season 1?
Yeah.
Probably about 4. Probably about a 4. You know, I mean, it was the beginning, and like
I'll go 3.5 because what bugs me is the Rick.
And I'll tell you something
It
else.
looked like they were living on their own for a while. Those guys just hooked up to nothing. What was happening? Or don't even have Rick in a coma. Show flashbacks of him like escaping from the hospital. Maybe he goes on his own little path for an episode or 2, and then they're linked up.
Yeah,
but
like,
the only thing I disagree with you is I think he had to have that love quarrel there. Maybe you didn't have to show Shane fucking her twice, but you could at least let him know that, you know, I liked, because without that, what's her name had nothing.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? And that kind of made Shane's lore a little bit better. Like, what's he going to do? How much does he love this woman?
Yeah.
Is he going to be able to put it past him? And he's staring at that tent. See, that kind of stuff was cool, but he did have to. Rick didn't have to be fucking her then. Make him think that's going on. I just thought that was misplaced. That Rick would want to have sex then.
Yeah.
Regardless if he was in a coma for months, this wasn't like Valentine's Day. This is the apocalypse.
Yeah. With Carl in the bed next to him.
With Carl. He can't hear shit. What happened? You fucked him in his ear or something?
No, yeah. I mean, that was, you know, there was That was good in there, and there was bad.
3.5.
And I'll tell you something else. It brought me back to some nostalgia.
That was Father Gabriel. Thank you, sweetheart.
Yeah.
The black dude I was talking about. Because I was trying to figure out who, you know what I'm talking about? The girl that liked Abraham had a kid.
Yeah.
I didn't know who the fucking dad was. It showed her with like 9 different dudes. They even showed her with Eugene. What is going on here? I would like the last season. I have it on DVR. So what I would do is like 5 episodes and then try to watch it. But I remember I'd be sitting there and I'd just get so bored. Where I'm going to do something else, I was not engaged like I was this morning when I was watching the last couple. Because why these first episodes are interesting is because now you see where their growth ends up, so it's good to see how they were in the beginning, how they did that. So we'll be able to rate all that.
Oh, yeah. It's just so much. Like, it's just, there's 11 seasons. So, I mean, it's like, oh.
He's just joking, Ashley. Ashley is new to the show. She's very glorious. Well, honestly, that's all I have for season 1, honestly, Rev.
Yeah, I mean, there really wasn't as much to
I didn't realize it. I would have said 1 and 2 if I would have knew it was 6 episodes. My fault there.
Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, there really wasn't as much to talk about in season 1. I mean, it was just
where they dropped the ball, show how that group got together, show how Rick. Don't make us guess how long he was in there. Because I don't really think they address it in another season. It'd be one thing if they did address it later. I think they make you kind of forget about that. What happened with Rick? I always thought another poor death was Maggie's sister. Remember, it was just for the sake of killing. We got to kill somebody because, everyone wonders who we're going to kill at the end of a season. We'll just kill her in an elevator.
Yeah.
Well, she was an important character. Let's make the death mean something before we get rid of her, because then you just got rid of a good. Like when they got rid of the Asian dude, yeah, that meant something, but you didn't have the next line up. You weren't ready to lose Glenn. You didn't have no guys like Glenn on the horizon. Remember when they introduced, I called them the not so fabulous 5, the girl with the bow and arrow, the dyke, the dude who didn't even ever kill walkers. He was just like some kind of like beer drink. How did he last up to it? Remember that guy who was with the slingshot group?
You
don't remember the slingshot group?
Is that the one that had that
the
walker with
in the new seasons with the slingshot, but then they introduced that girl with the bow and arrow, and then they introduced that. Remember they cut her head off and they put it on the post? Those people.
Oh, I haven't made it to the Whisper Wars. I haven't made it that far yet. I haven't watched those. Yeah, I haven't watched those yet. I'll watch those. I'm up to like season 9 right now.
Speechless. He said, okay, that was Schmidt. What was Schmidt? Bob Man says, I respect Ashley. Yeah, so you got to do that. You got to show the Rick thing. Show him get out of the house. Now, if you were going to show us, what's his name? Our boy, who I thought they ended up fucking up bad. The staff guy, who becomes the guy with the staff. What's his name? The black dude Rick meets with in the beginning.
Morgan,
I don't think you needed to make him such a family-oriented guy. I think he should have made him like the dude off Jump. I would have made a scene where Rick looks like he's about to die. 10 walkers are coming after him. All of a sudden, you just see this guy like Morgan walk out. And he's got his kid, but his kid's trained too. And he's like, son. You know what I mean? They're like two. And like Rick's watching these guys like, this is what I need to learn how to be. Well, he doesn't know Carl's alive, but then you could say, maybe show them for a couple episodes.
Yeah.
And maybe Rick kind of takes some of the stuff he learned. I thought it was kind of stupid how they got rid when I was like that they teased him. Because even when you brought him back eventually, you didn't really care about him yet. They put him in here And it was awful. They fucked him over in Fear. It was so bad. Oh,
But you had to show, the whole breakdown of society thing, though. Like, you had to show, like, how, like, they don't know what's going on and everybody's just, this is something new. And then, like, as the seasons progress, they turn into, like, old, grizzled, haggard humans that are just,
actually, if you're
shoot
still
you as
out
well.
there, you should watch season 2 on Netflix and come on here and review it with us next week. I think that'd be glorious.
Yes. We'll have some.
Lord, hey, I'll do mine. Lord, let there be mercy. When I say Lord, let there be Jesus, hey, that's my new saying. You know that. And hey, you had the line of the week last week. You go, Pesci. It really doesn't make any sense. I was dying when you said that.
No, yeah, it doesn't.
If you want to come on and talk about it, you can. Just watch a couple episodes. We just say so it's fresh on the head. It would have been hard for me to remember any of that without watching. I completely forgot about that black chick.
Is that little Lemmy?
Where? No, this is a whole new girl. Little Lemmy's going to come out and do South Park.
Mm.
Little Lemmy's a glorious one, too. Weed smoker.
I thought Giggles was coming on too to talk about it.
Ashley doesn't smoke. I could look at her and knew she didn't smoke. She might have hit a cigarette one time in her life.
Mm.
I had bowling on. I was making sure I didn't know. I guess Schmidt didn't go on his show either. Oh, I know Lemmy is cool. Lemmy's cool as fuck. She'll be on here eventually too. Her and her husband did like a long stream the other night.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good to see the new people in here like Ariel and Ashley. Good to have women out there. Lord,
Yes.
let there be Jesus. Anything else you can think of about season 1? We're going to do 2 and 3 next week. So we know we'll have 2.5 hours is strong. Because you think about it, we've covered every point there.
Yeah.
Only reason why we were able to talk about more is because we know what happens.
Yeah.
I wonder what I would have said about this show if I would have did the review when it first came out and I didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah, 10 years ago, yeah. I mean, like, it was nostalgia for me. Like, it was like, I'm sitting here, I'm like watching this. I'm like, I remember watching this at my old house.
I think I picked it up through Netflix 3 seasons in. So I didn't start watching Walking Dead until I think there was 3 seasons released. Because I was finishing Breaking Bad.
Yeah. I remember hearing about it from one of my coworkers, and I watched the 3rd episode, and I watched it on Sunday night when it happened. And then I just been watching it. I watched it ever since.
Yeah, she's cool, Brad. She's cool too. She's sketchy. She does shit. That's why she does that, and she's on different time schedule than here. Oh no, she's in Florida, so she's on the same.
It's 10:30 there.
I was out when they killed Glenn. No, I wasn't out. I just felt they didn't do well with stories to make up for Glenn being gone. It wasn't that you killed Glenn. It's just you guys started killing a lot of characters and you didn't have next man up. You had a lot of people that we didn't care if they lived, died. They started doing schools and shit. Don't do this to me.
Yes.
Killing Glenn sucked, but I'll tell you this. You remember it. It was like, I remember this because I remember thinking about it for a few days after because I was like, dude, this guy Negan. I remember watching it like, and you were, I remember I'd have a vision of the Negan bat scene for that first week it happened. There'd be a moment of the day where I'd just be thinking about it like, damn, what is Rick going to do? When that show, you know what I mean? That was when that show meant something.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, yeah, I don't know, brother. Like they should have done a lot of things different.
Oh, she
We
came
could,
on yours, Ariel? That's awesome.
like we can
I think
after we
Ashley's prettier than Little Lemmy, though.
yeah, after we discuss like all the episodes, like all the seasons, then we could actually do a rundown of like how we would have changed things and fan fictions and shit
Well,
like
I
that.
can
Like
tell you how I would have changed it. Rick's death. I
Yeah.
would have had Rick. I would have had Rick thinking about popping his girl's cherry immediately. Especially the only reason why they did that is because they knew they were about to announce a pregnant. They already had that pregnancy thing thought of.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
make them wonder. We can it's changed. They gotta have her. I don't think it had to be there, but I don't know, man. I hated it.
Well, yeah, and I mean, obviously, it was Shane's child. Obviously, I mean, there's like,
Why is it
yeah,
obviously again? Why did we determine that it was obviously in the end? Because the dates didn't add up or something?
I mean, like,
I know that was the hypothetical.
So what? I mean, they had sex with, she had sex with Rick that day when he came back, and then what was it like? 2 weeks later that she was on the farm. Was it even 2 weeks?
I'm gonna be. I'll know that next week.
Yeah, I mean, was it even 2 weeks that she was on the farm? I mean, you don't know you're pregnant until like after what, 8-9 weeks.
Of course it was. I
mean,
remember when somebody knew? I know what it looks like or whatever. How far along are you? Every show has the person that knew that person was pregnant.
Yeah.
How far? Fuck you. You know what I mean?
I mean, because you have to figure. Okay, Rick was still in a coma while all this was going on. I mean,
Jacob. Jacob said he's never seen Walking Dead. Or if you're gonna do one, though, do Breaking Bad first. You want some real shit? Breaking Bad's mentality was season finale every episode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you would be like I'll be like, damn, we're 4 episodes. Dude, they did it. They did some shit I didn't like, but it was still like it caught your attention. You're like, oh. Yeah, actually, go watch season 2. You could come on here and review it. You don't even have to stay out for the whole time. You stay out for a little bit. Give your it's easy. I ask all the questions.
Yeah.
And the Revern will be here.
To spread the good word and the good news. Where's Roman, Schmidt, and Jake and all them at tonight?
Jake's sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Schmidt, I have no idea. He's either working. Oh, now he's on bowling. Schmidt's on bowling now. What's up, Ross? Surprised you're. Well, we got to do this one too, I think. Rev, I think you should. I'm caught up. I'm not on the last season yet, but Better Call Saul, considering it's about to end now, there's a lot of shit I would like to say about this. They did a lot of great have you seen it?
Mm-hmm.
I think they did a lot of good, but I think they left out a lot. I think it was like, considering it's over now, and I just thought, well, we didn't get to see him be Saul like we really wanted to see. We'll get there. I always say that. That'd be a real good one. I think we could probably, if you want, we'll figure it out. I don't know if we should do Breaking Bad, then do Saul, or do Saul first just because it's quicker.
You probably need to do Breaking Bad first.
Breaking Bad's going to be a lot. You could go so in depth on one episode. You weren't in episode of Breaking Bad, like, oh, we got to wait for episode 10 for them to go at it. No, that guy was probably dead next episode. Someone was getting date rape, drug fucking. And they had good characters that came from that Mike.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
ran into Better Call Saul. Mike was a great fucking character. Saul was a great character. The first season of Better Call Saul when they had brought that Spanish guy. I like that. Obviously, he dies down the line. Remember the Spanish guy episode at season 1 of Better Call Saul? The Spanish
Which
dude.
guy? Which
Remember the
Nacho?
Spanish dude? He was gonna Better Call Saul was gonna be the lawyer for those 2 kids.
Oh, Tuco?
And they fucked that dude's grandma over. Yeah, you don't remember that?
Tuco, yeah, Tuco.
Yeah, the guy who would do the coke, the Spanish guy, was fucking great. That guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jim Bowen's in here. Whoa. Hold on. Bowie, is this you from Jay's channel? Let me get Bowie a wrench. Holy smokes, Jimbo. Jimbo's in the building. What's wrong with? Hold on, let me get you a wrench. Hold on. Let me look at my notes. Good season 1 Walking Dead. If you're like, oh, why so long ago? I've never done them, and I've always wanted to review.
Kiss the Peter, not the Dinklage.
Yeah, because I always say kiss the Dion, not the Sanders.
Yeah. Who's that, Schmidt?
Schmidt is not. Schmidt is currently on Bolin's doing laps.
Oh.
There you go. You are modded up, Jimbo. Welcome to the PWO, my man. Jimbo's a good dude. Good to see you, Jimbo. A lot of guys been coming in from the Game Chasers. Shout out to Shady J. You've done so much for me. He wants one more. He wants one more. We'll give you one more, Mountain Timer.
What are we doing?
He wants one more prayer.
I'll use both hands this time. To the sign of the diamond cutter.
Lord, let there be Jesus.
Right now, as I hold my hands in the sign of the diamond cutter and send out the power of DDP yoga, the positively power of DDP yoga, right now to my brother Mountain Man, who is laying in bed not feeling good. He's feeling under the weather. He's feeling like he's low. He's feeling like he's not able to move right now. We are speaking a blessing right now, a blessing on him right now. And he is receiving the power of positivity, of love, and of heat. Amen.
And before you go turn on that television, you go open that sock drawer that has that 40 that you keep for a rainy day. And you find it in you to crumple it up and put it in an envelope and send it to 101 Reverend Robin Lane. No questions asked. We'll see you on Sunday. Glad to be here. Good to see that, Jimbo. Sorry about the little Reverend thing. We were just joking around. He's probably like, what the hell did I just come into? The sign of DDP, he like that. Love you, Rev, says the Mountain Man. Can I get an amen? Says Jacob motherfucking Waters. You sure can, Jacob. Where's my amen? Amen.
Amen.
Oh my God, we killed Kenny. We killed Kenny? Killed Kenny. We're bastards.
It said, okay, Jacob, let's do shots. Mountain Timer went from not drinking yesterday to back on shots. Welcome back. Okay, perfect. I didn't want to scare you off. I was like, I don't. He said, deal, Brad. Damn, rum. I can't do shit. Oh, how was your Valentine's Day? And can you want to tell people about your promotion at least or no?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure. Yeah.
All right, tell them a little bit about what happened this week.
Oh, yeah.
And
Valentine's Day. Yeah, Valentine's Day was good. We went and we went to the Ruth Chris Steakhouse, and ended up spending about $50 more than what I wanted to spend. I had $100. Yeah, I had $100 gift. No, I had $100 gift card, and I didn't realize that $100 in there is like $5 at McDonald's.
That's what I
you
said.
really don't.
Was your check like what, $350?
No, it was $150. It was like $149.
Yeah, I hate spending that. I really do.
Yeah, I mean that was just like because I had a gift.
$150 at dinner. Not saying I wouldn't do it like if it was some crazy situation like that, but I always think like all the electronic things you could buy with $150. Like I could have bought like me electric fisherman or something.
Yeah, I never go out. Like we hardly ever go out. But it was like one of my friends had gave me a gift card for $100, and I was like, hot damn, I got $100 meal. And then I get there and I'm like, fuck. Damn, one steak's like $70. You know, it was like, yeah. Oh yeah, I guess it's expensive. Yeah, they got like a dinner for two thing with like a porterhouse. It's like $149.
I know who this is. I like the name. Perfect. We're good. We're doing good.
Yeah. I mean, it was just too expensive.
Huh?
You know, I'm very thrifty with my money, and it was just too expensive. I didn't really care for it. But you know, I mean, that was okay. You know, I got her some flowers. Huh?
Any champagne, wine?
No, I didn't get. No, we had some wine when we got home.
Okay.
But no, I didn't get any drink there.
I like champagne. Certain shit. I like champagne though. Like if I had a glass of champagne, I like to just sip on it. I don't pound the shit because I'm a religious.
She likes the rosé, that like mixture of red and white. I'm a
Alvin Marin's been shooting up every day. Love it, Alvin.
Yeah. I'm more of a beer man, and you know.
What's good, Crazy Fish? Let me make sure. I'll give you your. I don't know if I got you wrenched up yet. Give me a minute. Another person from new network I've been fucking with.
Cool.
So tell people about the promotion.
Oh yeah, so I got I was offered a promotion with my with FedEx. I am the new.
There you go, Crazy Fish. Go ahead.
I'm the new package and delivery coordinator for the 300 and 400 section of my terminal. I'm in charge of about maybe 25 people. You know, I mean, it was
define in charge.
So my job is going to be to assign routes, to schedule pickups and stuff like that, and to do schedules, and you know, for the people that because what they do is you have these different deliveries. You have like these different sections throughout the building. It's a 500,000 square feet building.
Okay.
And there's like 400 trucks in there, and we all have.
Holy shit!
Like,
that building now.
Oh yeah, we usually have it. Yeah, we run about 100,000 packages through that building, but a day, in one day, 100,000 packages.
Damn.
Not all the time, but most especially during peak time. But
So how worried were you about the hours? Now you're taking off hourly. Were you worried about working for free?
No,
you know what I mean by working for free, right? They got you doing over hours that you would normally be on the clock, but now you already got done being paid.
Yeah, I wouldn't be there. Yeah, I'd never be there past 5, because they close at 5, like the office closes at 5.
It's always been there like that for you.
I mean, normally I'm done between 4 and 5, so I mean, I would never be there later than 5.
Yeah, but now do you get out earlier than that even, or you're just still getting out?
Well, what my shift's gonna be consisting of probably is I'm gonna get there about 5 in the morning and probably leave about 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
Now that's what I was saying. That might
Yeah.
be a beneficial thing to a promotion that, hey, I'm not going to be working at 4 anymore. I like having those extra 3 hours.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like I'm gonna have to get there early. It's gonna be hectic at first because I'm gonna have to assign everybody. I'm gonna have to see what all's in. I'm gonna have to figure out where everything's gonna go. I'm gonna have to make sure that I got enough people to cover my section that I'm gonna have and all this. Like first thing in the morning, like routing and all that stuff. And then after everybody's gone at 10, I'm gonna have to deal with finding stuff that might be missing because there's always something missing. Because out of 100,000 packages, you're looking at probably 500 or better that's just going to go missing that nobody knows where it is. And then I'm going to have to go try to find them or send somebody to go try to find them. And, it's like, I mean, you're just going to, I mean, I like it. I'm going to like it, I think.
Now for you? No more heavy lifting?
No, yeah, I shouldn't have to lift anything heavy at all because I'm not going to be actually handling packages anymore.
There's another positive.
Oh, yeah, like it's going to save a lot of, trouble on my knees and my back. I'm going to be making a little bit more than I'm making now. I'll go ahead and tell you. So I normally...
Let me guess first. What are you about to tell us? Your yearly?
Yeah.
72.
I wish. It might be. I'm about 60. I'm about 60. Right around 60 because they never let me get more than 40 hours.
Gotcha.
So, like, normally my checks are about
get those 40 hours and maybe taking a promo. That's why I didn't know what I was asking you. I didn't know if they were hitting you guys with 60 hours a week. They're going to give you a promotion. Now you're still working 60. Yeah. I didn't know how I think you might have won.
Yeah, at max. Yeah, like whenever it's not peak season, which is the end of November till the end of December, like that Christmas time, like they don't want us to get any overtime at all. Like it's
I'm
like,
no. Either. Meaning I never owned a FedEx, but I deal with a lot of people. I could tell you would be a guy that would be a promotion guy. Like when he said he picked you first. I could see that. Because if it's a position of trust, I could just tell from dealing with you, this is a guy that if he was working for you, it seems like he wouldn't.
Brother, I've always given 100%. And I feel like if you give 100% at anything, eventually it'll pay off.
Right.
If you give, if you only give 30% and you're bitching and complaining and all this other shit, people, they're going to get rid of you. They don't want you to be around. They don't want to have somebody like that around. You're going to be the first one on the chopping block once, it comes up. But, he said, I'm going to be, my salary is going to be, $13.50 a week, which is probably,
with the taxes taken out, or that's before taxes?
That's before taxes. So I'll probably make about, on a really good week, I might bring home, like right now, I might bring home on a really good week, maybe like $900, $1,000 on a really, really good week.
A lot of plumbers that made around that. They always got that they were in a union. Yeah. They always got that 900. They were like 1,100.
Yeah.
But they always made out at the end of the year because they would be. Yeah. They would say they were supposed to take back 1,400.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so I normally.
You'll have that going for you eventually.
Oh yeah, I usually get about 5,000 or 6,000 back at the end of the year because I got 2 kids. No, it's it'll be nice to have it'll be nice just to not have all that heavy lifting to do anymore. And like that's, my knees are getting shot. So getting too old for this shit. And my diet's doing pretty well. I'm down about 6 pounds, drinking my unsweet tea and trying to do the keto and whatnot.
Oh, and Ashley, if you're still out there, this is Jason's second appearance. He made it look natural. She said she would be nervous about getting on with a lot of people. I don't really get nervous up here, really. Like, if there was 100 people watching me, I wouldn't be nervous. The one thing I would want to do is at least keep them watching, though. It wouldn't be about nerves. Like, all right, what should I get going here to keep these guys around?
Oh, I don't get nervous about any of this shit.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, like, to a normal person, if you said, hey, yeah, last week was his first week, you don't come across as a week one. I've even seen Schmidt progress in the beginning to where he got better.
Well, I think
Mountain Timer just said, fuck it.
I've spoken in front of 3,000 people before, so.
Oh, yeah. I completely forgot about your childhood. Yeah, this ain't nothing.
I've spoken in front of 3,000 people many times. Not all, not all that, but not like I was speaking in front of at least 300 to 400 every week.
Second, this wire. Give me 1 second, bro.
Yeah. But I appreciate that, Mountain Man. I respect you too.
Sorry about that.
But no, man, life is good. Trying to just trying to get healthy right now. That's my main goal. Is what the problem is, Pesci, is food tastes good.
Yes.
If food didn't taste good, we'd all be skinny.
My problem is I drink so much chocolate milk and Pepsi and all that. I don't eat a lot of food. It's always the sugar shit that gets me. Yeah. I always tell myself this will be my last half gallon of chocolate milk because I literally crush that shit. Like because Daisy goes out in the middle of the night twice. She's done that her whole life. And every time I go to let her out, while I'm waiting for her to come back in, I'm usually in by the refrigerator just chugging chocolate milk. And that probably can't be good. And then I drink ghetto tea, which is iced tea, the most sugariest one of all. The Dairyman's, the legendary.
Okay.
I lost my voice from screaming yesterday at somebody.
Yeah. No, ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, we're but
thank you again for stopping in.
Huh?
Even if the show was terrible, the fact that you showed up, that's just a win in itself. No, I was thinking the good people. Lord, let there be Jesus.
Is it how many we got in the building? Is anybody still listening to us?
We have 12, but we had 17 for most of the night. No joke.
Oh, good.
It was 17 like 10 minutes ago. We didn't go under 10 once we went over 10. But bowling at the same time, you got pennies on.
Eventually, we'll get we can do a better heads. We can do a better heads-up show.
You can make it one more hour?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not tired.
I was just making sure. I didn't know. You kind of looked a little bit tired when you're telling the story. I was like, man, I'm just tired.
No, I want to
go golfing in the morning. I'm like, dude, golf. I remember golf when my buddies would go. They would go at like 5. They never went in the afternoon. They would start drinking early. They were on that course by 7.
Oh, hell no.
I'd go drive around, get a breakfast in. They'd be at their golf club by 6 a.m., walking around there. I don't know what time they could actually start golfing when, if it was probably could start golfing at 6 a.m.
Yeah, I'm on the country club down here. And
I remember they deal with old people. That's their market is early golf.
Yeah, I told him we have an 11 o'clock tee off time. But I told him, I said, I'll be down there about 10:30. So we'll, I figure I'll go to bed at 1. I'll wake up at 9 and shower, shave, get down there and,
Funny is, last year around this time, I would already have been in bed. I was going to bed really early. I was passing out by 9, 10 o'clock.
Now I can tell you this: once my schedule switches to the 5 o'clock, yeah, we'll probably just be doing we'll just be doing the Friday show. You probably won't see me the rest of the damn week because I'll be in bed by like 8 o'clock every night, and you'll still be like you'll be just starting around that time. So.
For some reason now my schedule's flipped. It's weird now. I can only get like 4 hours of sleep right now. Like I went to sleep this morning at 6. Mountain Timer knows that because we watch my buddy stream, and he streams all night. Him and these two guys just drink beers and play music. But I was playing chess. We were gambling, and I didn't get out of there until 6. And when I went to sleep, I couldn't sleep past 10 p.m. or what is it, 10 a.m.? Yeah, 10 a.m.
Hey Brad, you were on
Jim Bowie, babe. Jim, you ever want to come on? Come on. Look at Jim Bowie.
Hey, if somebody wants to come on, I'll be more than happy to if Brad wants to come on and talk to us.
Or somebody else.
Huh?
Thank you, Maddie. Let's give Maddie a quick wrench real quick. Hello, Maddie.
No, I said, yeah. I said, if somebody else wants to come on and, stop us from rambling, I'm fine with that. If old Brad wants to come on and give us
does Brad want to come on?
A Colorado update, how it's going on down there.
Crazy 8 fish. I'm 63, by the way. What the hell does that mean?
Who the hell's 63?
I bet you won't let me on the show. Who are you, Full Dozer? I mean, you got to have a name, friend. I'm 6'3", by the way. What does that mean?
Tall. He's 6'3".
Just dudes people from Twitch are just let him on. I don't know who the fuck he is, you jerky. Full Dozer seems tall. Let him on. All right, link out, Dozer. Set.
He's gonna be one of those guys.
I bet you they don't show.
He's gonna be one of those guys who's gonna come on. Hey, fuck.
Help me! Here's my friend from around here, John Homme.
Yeah.
Oh!
What's going on?
John's a good guy.
Hey, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna get me something else to drink.
Go ahead. I did, bud. Set. You can't send links to people you don't have their full first name either. That's how slow sometimes people are. Gripping the yams, gripping the Rory. See you looking for Rory. No time for Harry. Gripping the yams.
And the reason y'all see this plain white background all the time is because I don't want to have to hold my phone the whole time. Or I'd give you a tour of the house.
John, stop by now. Let me know when you're done streaming. Come by now. Oh, no, he's not frying chicken. Not really a great attempt at comedy. That rot is whining. What rot? What rot? Oh, my dog? That's not a rot. That's a goddamn Doberman pincher, son. Rot. What the fuck do you know about dogs? Even on my drunk days, I would never have called a Rottweiler a Doberman.
Is he frying chicken?
These
Is
are
that
people
a-
from Twitch. You see that purple thing?
Is that a fat joke?
Probably.
People making fat
You know,
jokes.
where's the link? You can't send a link to somebody you don't know the name of, you silly gooses. And I don't care if you're 6'3".
I'm 6 foot.
That just makes you easier to see.
What are we?
Hold on, let me get him. Up. Where's my thing? Get him. Oh, hold on, give me 1 second. The one guy said we were peeing out loud. He goes, he's 6'3", reps are 3A5, and knows at least 2 celebrities. My dog knows 0. Ha! Got him. Sorry. I love the miniature picture in the Doberman. Yeah, without doubt. I got a smaller one, Daisy. She's running around. She's the whore of the house. Pablo's the guard. He's the muscle, as you would say. So he even gets his own couch. I bought that couch just for him. But yeah. Other than that, I can't. I'm trying to think what we could talk about for this next hour.
Let me ask you, Pesci.
Thank you, Jimbo. These are the guys we want around here.
Yeah.
They see what happens is the Twitch trolls, they think like they're different than these other trolls. They think like if you talk, they'll tell you the most dumbest jokes in the world. Like if I was gonna fuck with you, I'm gonna make it funny. Like when Jerry Jarrett was on Kenny's show and I did Terry Funk's Cup, and I said, "Who's a bigger heel, Crocodile Dundee or Bill Dundee?" But Kenny wouldn't even ask him the question. He wouldn't ask the question, of course. But that's a question. That's like a troll question worth answering, at least. When you got Bill Dundee answering it, or Jerry Jarrett, one of them.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know.
Do you like Jerry Jarrett?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Jerry Jarrett was he was a genius.
Cornette called him the god of wrestling. Let me roll up some weed.
Yeah. He was a genius.
Flipping the jam. Sorry, it's a song that's stuck in my head.
We can talk old school wrestling for the next hour. I'm fine with that.
All right. What decade? We got to go. It's got to be like 80s. I don't know, 70s.
I know 80s, 70s.
Schmidt, you got a link if you want to come on.
Oh, is he?
No, Jake always says that. Jake, when he does a show, he always go, Pesci, you got a link if you want to come on.
I wish everybody was, wonder what time Kenny's going to be shutting up. I'm sorry, I mean wrapping up.
I think he started late tonight. I already did a show earlier. I was going to do this no matter if he was on or not. Like I always say, when I do these reviews, I don't care if anyone's watching because I want to get the tape down. Because once if down the road, I got like 1,000 fans, and now 300 of them are Walking Dead fans.
Yeah.
Now I got that footage up. Like I always tell people, a lot of the videos I make, that fan might not be here today.
Why doesn't where's Brad? Tell Brad to come on.
Oh, I tried to upsell. I do this. This is me. This is the only type of fucking around with Kenny I'll do is I'll go.
Mm-hmm.
Me and the great, because I know he likes Walking Dead. Me and Robbins are doing a great fucking season 1 Walking Dead review this Friday, and I was like, dude, last week was a smashing hit. If you put that kind of shit in his chat, he will come up with a comment to downplay it. Like he goes, he goes over there on Pesci's, all 4 people watching him over there. Kenny, I didn't even have 4 people on day 1. We're about 6 months in now, but that's the kind of stuff he'll say instead of saying, good job. I would love to talk about Walking Dead.
Yeah.
You know, a quality I didn't like of his was he doesn't value loyalty to him there's no value in your loyalty to him.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I wanted to make him start coming to my channel. Like he sent me a link to go help them tonight. I flat out told him, I'm like, listen, I'm kind of busy tonight. Doing shit with Marty, and I'd actually rather talk to the Reverend than get shushed by you. Because actually talk, like you could even talk about The Walking Dead with Kenny like you could talk about you. Kenny wouldn't even remember anything, but he would just, he'd be like, no, you do it this way, or you do it. I don't know. I tried talking about a show with him once, and I remember every part he brought up and when I would say something, what his rebuttal was, I was like, I definitely wouldn't want to do show reviews with this guy. There's a difference between disagreeing with somebody and then the shit he would say. Like I said, he'd have to like that.
I mean, Kenny and Cornette were, huh?
I said, it's a song that's stuck in my head. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you randomly hear me start singing a line, I got a song that's so into my fucking head right now.
Yeah. Like Kenny and Cornette were the perfect little one-off for each other. Like it was just, like that was just great. You know, Kenny by himself, begging for money. that's just like, yeah.
But he's he's not good at it. Like, I would know how to do his same thing, but ask a lot less and probably end up getting a lot more in the end. Like, if he just came on and said, okay, this is A, B, and C, and didn't remind you about it, then went on and started talking about alligators and dragons and wars and shit. I said wars. I gotta clip that. That sounded funny. I just go in wars and shit. He doesn't even talk about wars.
No, if you wanted to, like, if we wanted to raise some money, I can get on here and I can start telling everybody.
Dude, I wanted to play he's coming on my show on my birthday. I wanted to play like a joke on him. So listen, people that have donated to me on Twitch and stuff, it saves all those to where you could press them even though they're already donated, but they'll pop up on my screen. So what I was going to do was, Kenny's across from me. I was just going to start pushing all the old donations, but some of them were like 5 days apart, but I'm just going to be hitting them. Kenny's not going to be smart enough to check the dates. So I'm going to make them think I'm getting all these donations. I'm like, yo, this is amazing. I'll just start saying these random names and you just look at his eyes when he's like analyzing this. Is that one of my people giving you money? Like I remember the one night when we made that 1,500. Let me tell you something about that night. We made 1,500, and I watched that show because I remember I took some. Kenny said he never said something, and I took it out and I showed him, and he goes, "Oh, that don't mean shit," but whatever. So there was a show. I don't think right around the time this was. How would I explain this? Sure, I think I would explain this without. What was I talking about 13 seconds ago?
Kenny, how you made the 1,500?
1,500. Thank you. No, I was trying to remember. I was like, what show was I just talking about? I lost my train of thought. I forgot what show I was addressing. I was like, what? So listen. So we got to 700 real quick. Like I didn't even know what the fuck was going on. The show, as good as that show was that day, the money was more like people just being kind to their hearts. It wasn't just me asking those questions isn't what brought in that money. But for some reason, the way and it wasn't even on a Hazelwood night. I think if Bob was in there, it was a small Hazelwood night. And we got up to like 950, and I go, Ken's next line was somebody goes, okay, well now it was another line asking donations. And then you hear me go, Kenny, is there ever a congratulation group? Let's give them a day off. You know what I mean? It's like, there's not an award. Like you'll see fundraisers and they'll do a thermometer. You know what I mean? And they'll say, hey, we raised this much and we're getting to our goal. And, if we pass it, yeah, we're going to take in more donations, but we're not going to keep harping on it. I'd always say, can't we just get a job well done? And the only reason why I say that is, Ken, we're coming back tomorrow. You know what I mean? It was right when we made that 950. I remember the lines after were, he was 45 minutes went by and he goes, donations kind of slimmed down. We're at 950, dude. We haven't even done shit. You know what I mean? I'm not Cornette. I was asking him questions about his past, the OVW shit. Because I was always saving my shit for my channel at that point.
Yeah.
When I was like, yeah, I'm not putting no more of my good shit on his. That was one thing I never admitted on the open. But that's why when I eventually started doing the clip show, I told Schmidt, get him to come here. Because I was so mad the one night at him and he knew it. He goes, wow, Pesci's really mad at me. And I was like, I don't care anymore, bro. I was like, I don't give a shit about this shit. I was like, dude, look, let bygones be bygones. I'll talk to you later. And before you know it, he's, oh, I'm sorry, this, that, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And I said,
Pesci,
what?
No, I was going to say, for the next 45 minutes, I think we should give the people what they came here to see. And we should, I think we should just go back and forth with we just tell some stories about the old days or something like that.
Okay, but I'm not from the old days. My old days is Hogan.
No, I'm just talking about in general, I'll ask you. See, I don't know much. I don't know much about you. I haven't really been Well,
you can ask me a question. Go ahead. Ask me anything.
So,
question number one.
What do you actually do for? Do you work with computers or something?
We go straight into that. I've already said what I do millions of times. Connect the dots.
Okay, I got you. So you're
There's no secrets, there's no bodies. It's just green. That's it.
Yeah, you're in a cash business.
I'm in a cash business.
Yeah.
Hey.
I love a cash business.
Hey. I'm in the motherfucking cash business.
Yes.
But that's rolled up like that because I got to go buy a $2,700 car tomorrow. I do the car lot thing with my partners, but that's slowed up right now because COVID, they made less models, and all the big-time dealers were giving an amount of money that really wasn't even worth us to get it because we're not a buy here, pay here.
Mm-hmm.
It's been cutthroat on the cars. It hasn't. Yeah, there's guys that made a fortune, but these are guys that had the models I had right now weren't selling hot. Certain models were flying during COVID, but now they're like, oh, cars are selling hot. A lot of people don't got money like you think. There's a lot of people now waiting on money again. It's around that time, right? Right, Robbins? People are hoping to get a W-2, right? Or something like that.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, I mean, people are waiting for their tax checks to come in. Yeah, I mean,
here's the thing. We'll sell every one of our cars, but during tax time, it's about re-getting during that time where everyone's buying. There are certain prices on cars we wouldn't pay. We're not doing the buy here, pay here, put on bulletproof vests to go get the car. Because we know we're dealing with cars that are probably going to be the guy that fucks the payment up.
Yeah.
And usually guys that got their shit together, they know where to go to get a car. They're not just going to some side deal shit. Usually guys that call me up for a car usually are guys that are on a budget, trying to buy something no more than this. You know what I mean? Like I always say, when people call me and say, is the car nice? I say, I'm not going to tell you what the car is to me without you driving it. And he goes, what do you mean by that? I go, sir, if I hear a serpentine belt whining, that might bug you and your girl where you got to get that fixed right away. I know I might be out of that car in 20 days. I don't give a fuck about that serpentine belt squeak. You know what I mean? It's not a serious a serious thing. So you'll get customers that sometimes want something really nice. How I handled the car thing, Jason, I handled it different than any car guy ever. I said, I'm not going to tell one lie. I'm going to tell you exactly what you're getting. Because we're not doing it by here, pay here. We're making a couple grand, sometimes a grand off a car. We're selling it at wholesale. So basically like this. Let's say we got a car. Some cars need a couple repairs here and there, but some guys that know what they're doing, they'll go, dude, that will only cost me that. Now I got that car for, you know what I mean? They said, I bought that car one time for $5,000. I get it for 20. Some guys, like for instance, I've done so many repairs on a car. I could jump in a car and it could be broken to somebody, and they're like, man, that thing's fucked. And I know deep down in my head, man, I know exactly where to get the part. Because I've heard cars sound like they were dead. And my mechanic's like, no, that's just this and that. And I didn't know shit about cars when I first started. Now I could jump in most cars used. I'm not in the, like, I don't know shit about like old, but I never sold a brand new 0-mile car. I don't do that shit. I'm selling wholesale, 32 out the door. If I knew you and you needed to owe me, sure. Other than that, you're coming with all the money. I remember we telling people, the one guy goes, you think I just have $3 grand on me? I was like, well, I don't think you might have $3 grand on you, but it's not hard to get. Because we think about when we go buy the cars, we'd have to come up with cash. And they don't give us to us on the front. They want all their cash. These are $1 million classic Chevy selling these. You know, it's a dealer auction where they write it on a piece of paper. They give it to the dealer, probably where they could do some flopping, some playing favorites. Not one of those 25, 25, 85, 45, 45, 45, 45, 75, 45, 45, 40 on the back, 45, up front, 45 here. Not one of those. This is one where you get to drive them. Those are sometimes you don't get to drive the car unless you took the time to come the day before. Those are the only time you get to drive those. The ones we go to, you get to drive. You'll get pieces of paper. You'll write the car, the bid. You'll hand them in. There's backstage politics that play big time in this game because there's guys that have been around for years. So I might be in there, and the general guy is a lot older than me. We're probably the youngest owners that go to this dealership. But that's not where my came from. That's just the first thing that I ever did. That since I was 18, when Phil and Pat put me in charge of the cars, those are twin brothers. They'll come on here one day. They're just stage fright. He goes, like, honest realtor. When they put me, gave the trust in me to do the car thing and do all that, I barely knew anything. I had to earn. Like, for instance, we've been doing it for 10 years now. Yeah, we didn't make $1 million, but if they told you, how did I do? They would say, this guy didn't. This guy couldn't tell you what a dead battery was. Meaning if your car wasn't starting because of your battery, I didn't know what the hell that was. Now I know a battery. Now I know what oil smells like. Now I know what leaks are quick to fix, what leaks are dangerous. Like people be like, damn, it's leaking. What's funny, and this is how dumb customers are. If your car's leaking, take that repair all day over a transmission, an engine repair, a leak. Trust me, when they get it up on that thing, it's pretty simple. The leak isn't fucking your engine. I'd rather have leaks all day. Like, they'd be like, the car's leaking gas. It's fucked. I love when a car leaks gas. That's one of the cheapest repairs I get done is a gas leak. They're not hard.
No.
There's some that are more than others, but it's really easy. Like, you would ask like a random customer who didn't know, she'd be like, what would you rather have wrong with the car? Leaking gas or the gaskets in the front? They'd be like, we don't want a leaking gas. Meanwhile, the gaskets are $1,000 just to repair. And if you're not set up, you're not going to be able to afford repairs and the payment. That's why half of those cars get repoed.
Yeah.
I've seen what the guys, when we have good cars, I see what the guys that got the money. A guy that's looking for a car, he usually has that money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Even if they're saying I can only get my hands on that, that's just a tactic. I've noticed that when they find a car they want, and it's in their range, they're going to grab it. They're going to go get that money.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this.
We're just talking about random stuff for the last half hour. We're done on Walking Dead.
Yeah, we're just shooting the shit now.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this: Do you? And I don't want to dive too much into your personal business.
Everybody knows what I do.
I don't want to dive too much. I don't want to dive too much into your personal business, but do you use the bank at all?
Ask me about my personal business in the past, not about today. Because I could talk about the past because it already happened. I can't get in trouble.
Okay.
That's what I say. Most of my stories are from my past.
Did you used to use the bank, or were you just strictly in cash?
There you go. Yeah, you could ask about the past. Like I said, everything that I ever got charged for, I already went to prison for. I can't get reassembled. Well, people are like,
I've never gone to prison, or I've never had any kind of legal issue like that. But I have had tax issues before, which are just as scary.
About prison. It's a lot easier to go than you think. You would think to somebody that doesn't go to prison and grew up probably in like Catholic neighborhoods, all that, like my mom would never been in trouble. She probably thinks everybody in the jail's bad. Like when she knew I was going there, she's like, you might not live. Like she had this vision of jail that it just was not the case. Yeah, it could go bad for you. You got to know how to speak. You know what I mean? You got to know going in there, it's a fucking fishbowl. Meaning you're not getting out of that bowl. You better learn to either swim away from the skin. Like my buddy was telling you the other day. He said, I knew what guys I could talk to. But yeah, he was trying to make it sound like a bad thing. I should have. Yeah. Next time he's here, I'm going to have him tell. He's the one that got a black eye in there. I never got punched. He pretended a shampoo bottle was a Dion, not the Sanders, and his boy was his dude. Says, you don't joke around with me like that. Some guys you crack a gay joke in the joint to certain guys that aren't gay, they're fucking you up. Because if you crack a gay joke on them and they laugh at that, people that are around, they're going to be like, oh, this guy's sweet. No. Because there is a lot of, undercover gay guys in there. And once you're sweet, you just get labeled like that. But he had to punch my dude and go, look, you don't pretend a shampoo bottle's a dick around me, dude. We might be boys, but you don't do that shit. He taught him a lesson. Stood a Puerto Rican pit on his back. He was trying to make fun of me saying, oh, I knew who to talk to. Yeah, I'm not going to go talk to the alligators.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I have been a mountain timer, but in my field, usually the money was all being spent on weed or coke or whatever I was reselling. Yeah. A majority of it. I never had like a barrel of money stashed away in like a hidden. No, I usually lost all my money gambling, or I'd give it to the plug, and he would give me more than I gave him in money.
Yeah,
and it just comes a service.
That was going to be a question. That was going to be the next question. I was going to so what do you have like 50 grand on a table or something?
Well, here's my problem. When I was younger, I took a lot of the money for granted. I spent in a way where you can't be spending like this. If shit goes bad, you're gonna go broke. And if shit goes bad, if you would have put some of that money away when you get in trouble on a rainy day, before you know it, you're getting in trouble, you're paying the lawyer, you're broke. I was broke both times I was in prison. That's why I didn't care about life when I got out. Imagine you get released from prison, a chick showed up. I couldn't believe it. But I wasn't looking to start no relationship, but she was my girlfriend. And somehow we stayed together for 6 years after that. But she picked me up from prison. And I remember you get picked up from prison and it's your second time. I wasn't like, okay, now it's time to go get a real job. What real job would hire you besides McDonald's? And I always said, if I'm going to go work at McDonald's, people always smart-assly say McDonald's is always hiring. If I go work at McDonald's, I'm selling drugs. Okay? Because that's going to make McDonald's profitable. You think I'm going to go to McDonald's and not sell dope after 2 prison numbers? go to prison like I did, and then and as I said, it's not easy. Like when I got out, I didn't call my parents. Sometimes people get released from prison and they have a whole support group ready. Hey man, we're gonna get you the car. We're gonna get you sober. Some guys just needed to be off dope and go to work. They had a family, they had money, a support system. I did too much bullshit for me to reach out to my parents. I didn't want to go, Mom, Dad, just got released, because I never called them when I was in prison. I just got released from prison. Can I come post up with you? No, I went, stayed at my dude's house and started building the weed thing up, because I knew that was my goal. Eventually, you're at survival. That's what I said. There's points where you're like, I was never offered a job. Like if someone said, hey, Pesci, we're going to give you this job making a few grand a week. All you got, that never happened. There was my buddies that own businesses, they own businesses where the guys that work for them were traits I didn't have. Metal roofs, not the garbage part, because you were never putting it on. I know guys that own construction companies, operating scaffolds, being able to put the harness on the right ways, all that. I wasn't good for that. That's why I said if you were a welder and you went to the joint, you could do prison time easy. Because let me tell you this, felon or not, a position like welding, if you're good at it, yeah, we'll take a shot at that felon. A felon that has no skills, like in the business world, like the skills I have were like, if you got to do that job, you're fucking lucky. Like it was like on-air shit like this. I'm not no carpenter. I was able to sell cars because it was almost similar to selling drugs at one point. All I need to know is number, but I started learning the shit along the way.
Yeah.
To where I know a shitload about cars, but there's a shitload I don't know. That's what I was telling you about the car game. The car game's a deep fucking world.
Yeah.
What
kind of car do you drive? What kind of car do you drive personally?
I'm driving 3 cars at the moment. Toyota Camry Gold, Honda, because I got 3 in my driveway. Whenever one sells. Now I don't go one car today, one car the other one. Right now I'm driving this black Honda. If that sells, I'll go in the gold Toyota. Now I have 3 cars here. We have a location in Menor as well, but we own. I don't want to drive to Menor every day. Show a couple down here, and right now we don't have hot models. Like the models we have, we're gonna sell. They're not the big money ones. Those guys weren't any.
So I got 2 cars. I have a Toyota Tacoma, 2015. My truck that I like to drive, and my wife's got an Audi.
Because you want to know why? And I'll have my buddies vouch for this when they're in here. It comes on their honest realtor. I never sold a car. And yeah, there might have been some people that were like mad about certain things that were mad about the car. But the things usually a customer would be mad about, it was on you to know that. That's why you're signing a as-is paper. And I always tell people, sir, like when women will come up there and they might not have general knowledge, I'll even tell them, hey, make sure you like this car, because I can't give you no money back the next day. And I'd say if this was my car, this is what I would do. And I know when I'm talking to all these people, they don't know what the fuck I'm saying because they don't know about cars. I remember being there. But what I did was I kept it so honest to where I didn't have to worry about selling a car and somebody sneaking up on me or something like that. Or I could every car I ever sold, I could sleep that night. Because I knew I sold it at a price that if A went, B went, or C went, well, the money you would have to put in that car, by the time you got the repairs, you're still in a car for a good deal. And prices are up mega.
Yeah. I had I bought my wife a van about.
And the prices are only as good as your models. My models, even with prices up, they're only going to go for this.
Yeah. I bought my wife a van a couple of years ago, right? I don't normally buy used cars just because I like to have, I like to have a warranty. I really do. I like even though it might not really mean anything, just that feeling of.
That should tell people buyer beware. We don't get warrants on our shit. We've had shit go the next day and the guy that didn't help us. You got to know what you're doing when you buy a car with 100,000 miles on it.
Yeah. So what I bought this van. I paid $3,000 for it, right? And it drove great. And literally, we got it home. The very next day, she was driving it to town, and the check engine light comes on. And I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. And we take it down to my mechanic that we go to, and he's like, oh yeah, man, it's the torque converter and the transmission's going out. I said, are you serious? And I'm like, okay. So I take it back to the guy, and the guy's like, man, hey, it's your problem now. I said, you sold me this thing yesterday, and it's got a bad transmission. You told me there was nothing wrong with it. Oh, that's your problem now,
Like I always, yeah, he definitely is. Jimmy Thunder. Like I always tell people, it might look like I am happy and all that shit, but to live the life I live now, I had to fucking pay. Yeah. I had to do incarceration over fucking over at least 1,600 days. And when all that shit's going on, you lose a lot of your life because you're locked up. And then when you get out, you got to rebuild. You're usually not where you were because you got to regather everybody back that went, And like I said, I wasn't a welder or anything like that or knew somebody that was like, hey, you can come work for me. Just show up. No. Only places ever hiring me were going to be places that you might as well have drugs because the paycheck ain't going to make any sense.
But now what I was going to say though is, so we bought I live in a pretty well-to-do neighborhood, and I live in a pretty well-to-do neighborhood. I live in the suburbs, in a housing development over here. And
condos or called houses?
They're townhouses.
Townhouses, okay.
Yeah.
Familiar.
Yeah.
I own this house.
I do too.
16,000. 16,000, Jason. And we did all the work. 16,000. I swear to God, my mother's life. I can prove it.
Yeah. I paid
I bought this house 6 years ago. This neighborhood wasn't the hottest thing.
Yeah.
And the houses, it's got 2 bedrooms upstairs and a basement, but 1 bathroom, 1 shower, 2 bathrooms. Oh, I guess 3 bedrooms if you count that. So it's 3 bedrooms, 2 upstairs. But the neighborhood, when we first started coming down here, it was when I first got out of prison. It was very suspect. When I came about this house, there was people taking sinks out of houses, the ones that were abandoned. There was a lot of, there's some families that live on this street now. There's people trying to buy the houses up here now. This land over here is gone. There's still a lot of crime, but the land has gone up. A lot of the crime that's done over here is because it's a mixed neighborhood. Every ethnicity can build business together and not look out of place because that's how the West Side is. It's not like the East Side where some parts are all white or some parts are all black. No, where I live, there's chickens across the street from the Mexicans. I live next to 2 black dudes. And then there is no white dudes on the street, but they're I don't know how to explain it. They're like foreign white. They're not up, hey, man, I heard your dog barking. A little loud, man. Like those kind of guys.
Yeah. No, we have a very nice little subdevelopment over here that we live in, and it's just there's no crime over here, none to speak of. I mean, there might be somebody might go into your car and steal your change or something, but I mean, there's very little.
Crime's everywhere.
Huh?
Crime's everywhere. Somebody got killed in my mom's neighborhood, and it's a neighborhood. Anything can happen anywhere.
I mean, it's not like, I mean, like there's probably a lot worse neighborhoods, a whole lot worse neighborhoods.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, I like it because it's a good place to raise a
Yeah,
family. You know, I
there
mean,
was
like
a murder in my mom's neighborhood, but that's a neighborhood. He'd say, "Oh, there's no murders out here. This ain't the ghetto." Blah blah blah. There was a couple murders, a couple suicides, and that fucking city has more drugs than they even realize.
probably 95% of all murders are a reason for the murder. It's not like just a random killing just because they
I
just
never did that kind of homework. I had a bunkie that was a murderer, but he was on his way out the door, so he was a level down, meaning he already did a chunk of his time. He's looking at the door. You know, guys still always kept their shit together, but guys that were staring at that door getting ready to leave, they're not. Those aren't the guys looking to kill you quick. You would have to really upset them. You know what I mean?
so.
Some
Yeah.
guy probably tell you, "Hey man, get away from me.
My God.
I'll fuck you
Yeah.
up if you come back around. I'm on my
Yeah.
way out of here." You know, when guys are facing that door that been down for 10 years, there's a lot of badasses that they'll put in the lower and can't, you know, because they behaved. And they might, in the beginning, been quick to fuck you up, but they know they fuck you up. You get your level taken, you get taken out of the good prison, you get put back in the max. So that fight, me proving to whoop your ass, I don't think it was worth me getting taken out of the prison. That's why the prisons make so much money, because there's a lot of guys that are like me in there. It's just marks to make money on. These guys aren't hardened criminals. Like, they could have did something else with me besides. They put me in prison. They were making me. He goes, "I wanted to give you more time." I remember I heard that. I was like, when he said that, I was like, it looks like I'm going to be a criminal for the rest of my life. That was what I was thinking at that moment. I was like, what else am I going to do?
Yeah, my cousin killed somebody. He didn't serve a day in jail. He didn't even get.
Wow.
He didn't even get arrested.
How does that
His brother was a member of the police department. It was a small town. It was in Brunswick County, North Carolina. It was a small town, and it took like forever for them to come out and do, like, you know, SCU shit or whatever, and a lot of shit was covered up, and it was like made into a self-defense thing.
Yeah.
And that's how they wrote it up, and it just, you know, it was just washed away as self-defense. Because from what I understand, had happened, because I wasn't there, but it was his brother-in-law, and he was like beating his sister or whatever. This was my cousin's, and he was beating his sister, and he shot him, and then he stabbed himself in the shoulder after he had shot him to make it look like that it was in self-defense.
Are you serious? What happened?
Yeah. No, I mean, they
Did he get caught?
yeah, no, I mean, no, he's still free. And
Oh, he won that. You're saying that was a win.
no,
he won
they never arrested him. Like, they never took him to trial or court or nothing.
Wow.
It was just wrote up as self-defense. Now, Donald Lord's in here. I don't know. He might can answer how self-defense works, but
murders are 90% money or bitches. Yep. My buggy, he wasn't like a murderer, like a malicious murder, meaning he was in the ghetto and he was attacked by a man where it was either going to be him or him. And the other guy went and they got 10 years.
And also, Pesci, like, this happened in like the 90s, like the early 90s, maybe something like somewhere around 91, 92. So, like, you know, DNA really wasn't a thing then, and like it was, you know, I mean,
you watch the stories on DNA, you see how much shit DNA really helped them.
Oh yeah. But, you know, I mean,
I always say DNA was a gift from God. It really was a gift from God. Think about that. If there was, I know you're an atheist, but if there was a gift from God, it was DNA for that department. What?
Yeah. No, I'm not. So I don't say that there isn't a higher power. I just don't believe in the Judeo-Christian version of what God is.
Yeah, you don't come across as some dude
Like-
that's throws a
like
dart.
the God of the Bible. I really don't. I see a lack of evidence in that. But like, if there is, like, I believe that there is a higher power.
Mhm.
I just don't believe that it's the same one that, is like smiting everyone and turning people into salt and, sending angels to wipe out.
I would have never bought.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the, like I said,
There's
People don't-
some people say they don't know if the dinosaurs were real. Even though they got the bones. I get it.
I mean, there's this people are going to believe what they want to believe, and they're going to believe. I mean, like, I don't know, man. Whatever helps you get through the day, I guess. Whatever helps you get through another day. I mean, I don't know. I just figure, life's.
What's funny is, what's his name put Trump. Speaking of Trump, I thought it was funny when they were trying to get him to show his tax stuff and all that shit. And I was like, what billionaire ever wanted people to see that? Whether they were booked to the T, most honest Abe. No billionaire wants you to see your papers that show you the money you brought in. Am I wrong by saying that, Jason? Because they want to make more at the end of the year.
Trump.
I always say when these guys list their wealth, like when they say Mark Cuban's worth 3.2, I think there's more money they got that they didn't ever claim because they didn't have to pay taxes on it. I can't not billionaires cutting corners.
Most billionaires are very smart.
Right, they're doing it properly to be able to.
So Trump's taxes.
$5 million. No, he's got 10.
So we'll take Trump's taxes for example. Trump's businesses lose money. Trump himself doesn't lose money because he pays himself out of those money-losing businesses.
Money and he doesn't. How does that work? Explain that to me.
You know what?
How does he lose money, but his business lose money, but he doesn't? How does that work?
Well, because he's on the payroll for these losing businesses, so he's still collecting a check.
But if he's the owner,
how the business
is he paying himself? I don't get that.
Yeah, he's taking a salary. He's taking a salary, or he's taking a consultant's fee.
How you the owner taking a salary? I don't get that.
So as an owner of a business, as an owner of a limited liability company or an LLC, you have to, to get paid, you have to either take a draw or pay yourself a salary. Either way, you have to pay payroll taxes and federal taxes, state taxes, all that stuff. So Trump is an employee of the Trump media, Trump real estate, Trump corporation, or whatever it is. The name Trump, like Donald Trump, works for the corporation that he owns. So he's paying himself from.
That's what I said. This is like,
he's paying himself from the corporate profits in some way or another. So he's still collecting money, but the company itself is losing money. So he's getting to recoup all those losses on his taxes. So he's making his taxes look like he's not making any money, so he doesn't have to pay taxes. Now, that in itself is probably a smart way to do it if you're not worried, like if you don't want to get like new investors or something like that. I mean, if you're making enough money to still be in business, but losing enough money to where you don't have to pay taxes.
Owners lose money, pay himself, and it could just be status quo. Is it because of outside support? I'm saying, how could you lose money but still be able to pay yourself?
No, I mean, well, because payroll is payrolls is an expense. So
Okay.
you can still pay everybody, and your company can still be profitable. But I mean, the problem that he's having with his taxes is he's borrowing money from all these different places and investing it here and investing it there and making payments here and making payments there. But he's showing on his taxes that he's losing money, so he gets money back from the government.
Isn't that what every rich guy does in the history of rich guys?
Well, yeah, I mean, like he's
They
smart.
make it look like it's never been done. It's a rich guy. He gets the rich richer. Yeah, I mean, it's not
No,
like he's gonna make you rich.
no. He knows how to. He has a team of very good accountants and a very good chief financial officer who knows all the tricks that the government allows you to do to save money and bend the rules. And I mean, look, we could do a whole show on taxes one day because I can tell you stories about taxes.
But I don't know enough about it. I don't know enough to talk back. I'll just be like,
oh yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, taxes are something else, brother. You know,
when people say rich making the rich richer, that's not a turnoff for me. Like people go, why does Ohio love Trump? Well, if you told us he makes the rich richer, that's not going to be a turnoff for these guys up here. You know,
so let me explain. So let me explain to you how you make the rich richer. Okay, this is how you make the rich richer.
Trump.
Yeah.
Back up the clip show. I'm going to play a joke on Kenny.
Yeah. So this is how they say they make the rich richer. So what happens is Donald Trump has his business is losing money. So what he will do is he will invest his own money in his losing business and write that off as a loss on his own personal taxes and get that money back from the government, because the government says if you lost money, we'll help you recoup your losses. Okay. So what they'll do is they'll borrow money from another billionaire to invest in the business that's losing money, and then they'll claim all those losses and get that money back at the end of the year from the government.
One thing that never gets talked about also, money aside, that'd be a big deal going president. There's a lot of people that just don't like the way Biden talks. Put the Trump side thing. I hate listening to him talk. You can say whatever you want about shit that Trump said, whatever, locker room talk. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm not shocked to hear about a billionaire fucking talking about women and all that weirdo shit. You act like that should be shocking us. You know what I mean? When I hear some of these Democrats talk, I'm almost stunned. It's almost like, wait a minute. Should a guy like me who knows nothing be looking at these guys like, dude, who's buying this shit? You know what I mean? Like that. But some of them I've heard, it's just like, whew. Now, when I'm saying ones I've heard on like movie base. Like I'll see them because of Disney. I don't know what the hell happens in the Supreme Court, all that shit, but I know how these lefties are because they're in the movie industry. So I just kind of go, oh, okay. I know who Kamala is because there's a girl that's on Disney that's pretty much her, but she's not a vice president. She's the vice president of Disney.
Yeah.
Bob Iger, Kathleen Kennedy. You want to talk about bowling? I'm bowling. These motherfuckers. I remember when they would talk before I ever knew anything about left or right. I used to hate these fuckers. And then everything started to come into play when you learn who these people are. Like, I didn't know what left or right was until Kenny. Honestly. Didn't know you could register to be a Republican. I was like, you know what I mean? That's why when Kenny would always call me a Trump supporter, I go, Kenny, I've never voted.
Yeah.
How could I be a supporter of anybody? When Trump was president, my Cavs were winning ring. That's all I cared about was basketball.
Yeah.
I didn't even know when he got hired. I said when he got voted for, I go, oh, it's a popularity contest now. That's all I said. Because I remember it was like him and Hillary. I was like, I looked at the presidency going forward. It's going to be who's the most popular. And Hillary was not more popular than Trump, especially that year.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even when LeBron went behind Hillary, no one liked her. I didn't even I don't know what she's saying. When I listen to her talk, I don't like her.
Yeah. No, I'm a registered Republican. I still am, I guess. You know, I mean, it's just like,
honest, before I ever met you, I knew you weren't a lefty. I just had this feeling. Even before I ever met you, I'm saying when you would think Kenny's whole crowd would be a bunch of lefties. They're not really. There's some in there, but there's a little bit of more normalcy than it. Like all Kenny's friends were Republicans, besides Cornette. You know, JBL, Lawler, liking Pete Rose. I couldn't imagine Pete Rose being a registered Democrat.
No.
As I said, Kenny, don't act like you hate these guys. You know how to be in a room full of them.
Yeah. No, you know, I mean, I try not to talk about. I don't never like, you know, openly come out and talk about politics. You know, I mean, just as a rule of thumb, because I don't like to.
To be honest, so right now,
yeah.
Tugger's leading in ratings. That's what is dominating ratings. When people don't like politics is when you call your show a John Deere fishing show and you got these like 200 idiots in there that are really for the fishing, and then you bring up politics in there. They don't like that. You label your show like I did. I labeled me and Kenny's show political show. Okay? Political. Like I don't watch the news, so you just don't watch what you want. But some people say they don't like to talk about politics. Those are the same guys watching it. You know what I mean? They're like really watching it.
Yeah. I guarantee you that if I were to come on the show where Kenny is and we started talking about politics, he'd shut off within like a few minutes because he would just get tired.
This is how I would recommend that. We need to do that, but before you come on, slip him a 20 so he at least has an open mind in the, you know what I mean? Give him that 20 because he's not going to remember you. We already know that. So that pissed me off. I shouldn't. People were like, why are you so mad? I was like, it pissed me off when they were like, when Bob goes, I'm going to remember some guy that hasn't donated in 6 months. I go, he just donated the other day. I was like, people are like, Kenny knows who he is. I think sometimes, no, he didn't remember who Jason was.
Yeah.
Because sometimes he forgets guys. He thought Scott Ash was the main manager. He's not going to forget me because I obviously see him every day, but he doesn't reach out to people like I do. I always say, Kenny, where you fall off and where I'll succeed is I talk to Jason Robbins. I talk to this guy and that guy, not just on a show or whatever. And I don't ask him for a lot of things. I remember once you put this, I saved money watching this show. You know what I mean?
Oh,
There's
I don't. No, I mean, like, I don't.
Democrat.
I don't.
Timer might not have voted for Trump, but I know he could be around people that are Republicans.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. You know, I probably won't. I probably won't give anything back to him again. I mean, just because it's, you know, it's.
Keep talking. You're good. What's up? You coming by?
You know, it's like I don't really care anymore. You know.
I'm talking to somebody on the show.
You know, yeah, I just, it doesn't, you know, I don't need to watch, you know, I don't need to watch that anymore. I mean,
I'm opening the door.
Show's boring, you know. I know we're probably boring tonight, but that's okay because it's late.
No, we're not. Do you know how well the last show we did? What's funny was the show that everyone shitted on with Brad. That's up there in the views because I think so many people wanted to. Pablo?
Yo, it's live.
Oh, what? Hold on.
Pablo.
Where is Brad? Is Brad still out there? Brad, are you asleep? Answer me, goddammit.
Daisy.
Is my chat even working?
I like how you guys would. Here, let me hold that dog. You like how your buddies just went forward? They didn't even make sure you're okay. They just see you walk into the dogs.
Daisy, come here. Daisy. Come here, baby.
I'm gonna get Daisy a treat. She just doesn't like me. Yeah, stop that.
Hmm.
Give me 1 second, Robbins. I
Yeah,
gotta here's it.
I think my comments are down.
Come here.
Yeah, there'll be a lot calmer if you're actually like that.
If anyone can hear me,
I'm getting her a treat.
Pablo is beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Pablo.
Hey, buddy, come here.
huh?
That's your son.
Hey,
Pablo.
Really?
I need the dog selection.
shut your whore up. No, he's not gonna let you pet him. Don't even try to pet him.
Okay.
Not that he's gonna bite. He just does not let anybody pet him, especially if he doesn't know.
Pablo.
Sorry, I had to settle down the dogs. Yeah, Pablo
Right,
does
ladies and
let.
gentlemen.
What's your name?
Aleeks.
Aleeks.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
No one can do that.
And we're actually
Pesci
live
got
on
down.
Control. I did a Walking Dead show tonight with my man Jason. What were we talking about before, Jay?
I don't remember. I am going to. Yeah, it is 12:01,
Ready to end?
and
3 hours.
I think it's about time that we hit the old dusty trail.
So what are we doing
Yeah.
next week? Seasons 2 and 3?
Seasons 2 and 3, and then we can talk about taxes and politics again if you want. Maybe Brad can come on.
So I'll talk to you backstage because I got to help them out anyway. But yeah, they'll calm down about that. He was going to bed. You should have just let him go to bed. All right, everybody that's watching, thank you for tuning in to me and Robbins. I just
Thank
did
you,
11
guys.
hours today.
Yeah.
So my voice is going down. But we love you all. Thanks to Sheriff, Alvin Marine, Kiss to Peter, not to Dinklage, Jimmy Thunder from Down Under, Mountain Man, Chris Schmidt, pieces of shit over on Twitch, my man Jimbo, Maddie, and the glorious Ashley, John Homme, Tony Montana, the Terminator,